is Westwood One News.
Somebody called classified has tempted me to answer. That's an interesting, plus there's a big picture of the gray on this guy's Skype. So classified, hello.
Mr. Bell, can you hear me?
I can.
I have to keep this very brief, so I'll get to the point. I was involved with an organization that hacked into classified NSA servers, top secret.
Seriously?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, seriously?
Midnight in the Desert with Art Bell, live weeknights 9 to midnight on KMAS.
The Cougars are invading El Paso.
It's going to be an exciting ride.
Throws it to the end zone, intercepted by Washington State.
It's the 2015 Sun Bowl. Washington State, Miami.
Has time, throws it, center of the end zone, Craycraft, caught, touchdown.
Listen, this Saturday, kickoff is at 11. Our coverage begins at 9.
It makes your heart pound, doesn't it?
On the Washington State IMG Sports Network.
Cougs, Canes.
Tom Hartman is live and waiting for your call from 9 to noon weekdays on KMAS Shelton, AM 1030, FM 1033, and KMAS.com.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. It's a day of damage assessment in Tennessee, Arkansas, and Holly Springs, Mississippi, which was among the places hit by tornadoes.
I'm really getting my first look at some of the devastation this morning. I'm just not believing what I'm seeing.
Mayor Kelvin Buck says they will recover. At least 7 people were killed, 40 hurt. Bad weather forced flight delays at some of the nation's biggest airports, including Chicago, Atlanta, and New York. And as ABC's Aaron Katursky tells us, travelers will find new rules at security gates.
Even if passengers want to opt out of a body scan, as they previously were allowed to do, they may now not be able to. If security considerations warrant, the TSA says it may require passengers to stand with their hands up in the body scan machine, even if they had requested a physical pat-down. TSA declined to comment on what type of issue would mandate the body scan, but did say the cases should be limited.
Changes are on the menu at Chipotle. The restaurant chain is tightening cooking rules in the wake of 2 E. coli outbreaks linked to its outlets. More from ABC's Candace Gibson.
The burrito giant, with more than 1,900 locations, announcing over the next few weeks it'll start adjusting the way it cooks and prepares ingredients, including submerging onions in boiling water before they are chopped and covering them with lemon or lime juice to kill germs, chopping tomatoes and cilantro in centralized locations, testing samples of meat before shipping it to stores, and marinating raw chicken in plastic bags rather than open bowls.
If you're planning some last-minute shopping today, you won't be lonely. Millions plan to deck the malls today, and experts say they'll find deeper discounts than last year. Detroit is offering discounts on parking tickets. Since the city cranked up the fee to $45 this year, many have balked at paying, so the city is offering a 2-day holiday discount if they pay December 28th or 29th. Your eyes may become your new ATM card. Citibank is testing a new high-tech machine that uses your eyes to identify you through an iris scan instead of your card. No more PIN numbers. This is ABC News.
It's been a long day. You've walked through 18 open houses, and you're pretty sure 10 of them have been ignored since the 80s. Your feet hurt, and your head is buzzing with words like wainscoting and butler's pantry. The idea of living in a van is starting to sound strangely appealing. But then you hear it. The sound of salvation, of hope, of Zillow. You glance at your phone to see a 3-bedroom Craftsman in the right school district, walking distance to coffee with a finished deck. It's pretty perfect. And it just showed up on your phone, like magic. When you sign up for mobile alerts from Zillow, we'll send you homes that fit your search criteria when they hit the market. You can view interior photos, historical pricing data, and learn more about the neighborhood right from your phone. Sign up today at Zillow.com or on our mobile and tablet apps. And to think, you wanted to live in a van. Zillow. Find your way home.
A family of Syrian refugees is celebrating its first Christmas together in years in Canada. ABC's Danielle Capelli has their story.
It's joy, actually. It's blessing for me.
Maria Panosian worried about her brother and sister. They were living in Aleppo when the Syrian civil war started. Betty Panosian.
The life became upside down, unsafe, without home.
They fled their homes only to end up stuck in refugee camps. Maria and her husband worked to get them to Canada, and in October, they finally succeeded. Mego Panosian.
So it was a big chance, a great chance.
Now, with all three families living in Toronto, they'll celebrate Christmas together. Danielle Capelli, ABC News, Toronto.
Giving the gift of paying it forward. The 8-year-old New York girl, severely burned in an arson fire that killed her father and younger siblings, is sharing the truckloads of toys well-wishers have sent her. Sapphire Terry is bringing them to needy children at shelters. Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Mary Lynn Foster. The Mason County Commission approved a pay increase with medical coverage of 4% per the recommendation of County Central Services Director Bill Kenny for county employees. The increase covers pay considerations per memorandum of understanding with 5 of the labor unions contracted with the county. It also includes increases for the non-represented employees and the elected officials of the county. Kenny justified his recommendation to the commission by stating the county is at a crisis and crossroads. He said this is a result of the 2008 commission decision to cut staff and halt wage increases, resulting in the adjacent and like counties recruiting Mason County's trained and skilled employees. Recruitment efforts, according to Kenny, has not netted skilled replacements in the planning, engineering, and public health departments. This is symptomatic of the entire county, and his recommendation on this wage increase is an effort to stop the loss of skilled employees. The vote was taken, passing 2-0, with Commissioners Jeffries and Netherland voting for the wage increase and Commissioner Sheldon voting against. Mason County Commissioners this week approved expanding the Outer Harbor boundary line back to the original UGA boundary line setting. The original boundary line was reset in 2007 and 2008, splitting the marina into 2 local jurisdictions, county and city. This approval corrected the error, putting the entire marina in a single jurisdiction. The Port of Shelton can now move forward with dock improvements, including a new commercial dock in the future. State authorities say they've arrested 10 people in a child sex sting in Pierce County. During the 2-week undercover operation that ended Saturday, detectives posed online as underage girls or parents selling their children for sex. 9 men and 1 woman were arrested after showing up for meetings they'd arranged with detectives. The Washington State Patrol's Missing and Exploited Children Task Force oversaw the operation. Several agencies participated in the sting, including the FBI, Tacoma Police, and the state's attorney's office. Governor Jay Inslee has ordered state corrections officials to stop some prison releases until a hand calculation is done to ensure the offender is being released on the correct date. This week, authorities revealed that more than 3,000 offenders had been mistakenly released early since 2002 because of a computer glitch. A broad fix to the software problem is expected to be in place by early next month. The halt on prison releases would be for offenders potentially affected by the computer error. Inslee says 2 retired federal prosecutors will conduct an independent investigation to figure out why it took so long to discover and fix the problem. Based on a prior Supreme Court ruling, most of the affected offenders won't have to go back to prison. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
2015.
This just in. As I speak. Moments ago.
There is breaking news. Why look back when you can be in the moment?
Gunshots and explosions can be heard now. Medics are now making their way in. Here's another vehicle squealing off at a high rate of speed.
Very loud bangs happening. Now we're hearing gunfire.
ABC News Radio invites you to hear 2015 as it happened. Listen for it right here.
Tomorrow morning from 6 to 9 on KMAS.
Here's a way for you to green up that heating bill of yours. That is, save energy and save greenbacks. Go to archmechanical.com, learn about heat pumps and zone heating. We're talking about heating and cooling equipment and systems designed to heat or cool your home. Listen, if you don't use all the rooms in your home, why heat or cool them? Check out archmechanical.com and learn more. And green up. archmechanical.com.
Dirk slides past Shaq. The Spurs and Warriors keep on winning. Hi, everybody. Todd Ant reporting on sports. Dirk Nowitzki hit 2 critical baskets for the Mavericks against the Nets in Brooklyn last night, the first coming in the second quarter.
Read by Dirk, slips out of the screen. Down to Dirk from 15. Is this the one? Yes, it is. Dirk Nowitzki, number 6.
on the all-time NBA scoring list.
On KESN, Nowitzki moving past Shaquille O'Neal. The other big shot coming with 19 seconds left in overtime.
Down to Dirk as he checks the clock against Johnson. Left baseline, leads in and scores.
And that was the eventual game winner. Dallas sank the Nets 119-118. 7 straight wins for the red-hot Spurs.
Into the paint, pulls up from 13, off to the left wing, open three. Kawhi Leonard, Kawhi and out.
On WOAL, Kawhi Leonard 19 points, and San Antonio hammered Minnesota 108-83. They improved to 25-5. And Golden State knocked off Utah 103-85, improving to 27-1. It's the best start in NBA history before Christmas. The Cavaliers focused on their game Wednesday night and beat the Knicks 91-84. LeBron James made sure his team was not looking ahead to the Christmas Day matchup against the Golden State Warriors.
Memories will come back as soon as you walk into the building, but also understand it as one of 82, and I'm not going to put everything into this game.
James scored 24 points. Kevin Durant and the Thunder had little trouble with the struggling Lakers.
Kevin across the timeline, off the stutter step crossover, beats Bryant, cycles between defenders, down the lane, floats a runner that goes from 6. Kevin knifing between both Bryant and Hibbert, smiling, heading back down the floor.
On WWLS, Durant finished with 21 points in Oklahoma City's 120-85 victory. 2 college bowl games last night. The GoDaddy Bowl from Mobile, Alabama. Georgia Southern's Fabian Upshaw took over.
He's got the angle and the speed, and he's in again.
On ESPN, 4 touchdowns for Upshaw, Georgia Southern, 58-27 over Bowling Green. And in San Diego, the Poinsettia Bowl, Boise State cruised 55-7 over Northern Illinois. NFL, Giants receiver Odell Beckham Jr. lost his appeal. He will sit out Sunday night's game against the Vikings. College hoops, all the top 25 teams won, including Oklahoma and Louisville. Todd Ant, ABC Sports.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3, audio and video this morning, KMAS.com. Good morning, I'm Dale Hubbard, 10 past 6. Merry Christmas here on Christmas Eve. Jeff?
Yeah!
All right, game on KMAS.com last night, the high school variety.
Mm-hmm.
It was Clover Park, the Warriors, with a 60-51 win over the Shelton High Climbers. We have one more game in December. Video stream on Tuesday next week. The ladies will be in action at the Mini Dome, and the Lady Climbers will host the Hoquiam Lady Grizzlies. And we'll begin our coverage about 6:40 on Tuesday. Also, last night on the radio side, on a game heard here on AM 1030 and FM 103.3, Gonzaga, not much problem with Loyola Marymount. Kyle Wilcher, 20 of his 26 points in the first half. Domantas Sabonis had 15 points, 13 rebounds. Gonzaga beats Loyola Marymount 85-62, 13th straight win over Loyola Marymount, and the Bulldogs have beaten LMU at home 27 straight times. They do not like coming to Spokane.
No.
That record string goes back to 1991, Jeff.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
It's a long time to wait for a win. So Gonzaga started early, 10-0 run, and a 17-9 lead real quick, and pretty much over. That was it. Now, we beat Pepperdine on Monday night, and quite comfortably. But the team you got to watch out for in the WCC, Portland.
Those pilots?
Those pilots, they plunked down on top of Pepperdine themselves last night, 87-79. And over in Honolulu, the Cougars in the Diamond Head Classic consolation semifinal, they lost to Northern Arizona. Final score there was 63-59. Cougs 7-4 on the season. And we have tonight Thursday night football, as it turns out. It's Oakland and it's San Diego. And they're playing in Oakland, maybe for the last time. We don't know. But we'll have it for you. 5:45?
5 o'clock pregame, 5:30 the kickoff.
Okay. All right. There's the details that you need to know. And that's sports this time around, just like he has our holiday forecast.
Did you like my forecast on the overnight? Did you hear it? A little singing in the beginning?
No.
I was
some Christmas?
I was singing some. I personally was.
Oh, you
I
were
didn't
singing.
have
What were
any.
you
I
singing?
couldn't do any Christmas music.
Let us know.
Weather outside is
Oh,
and it's not too bad. 35 right now. Chance of rain 2/100ths of an inch today. It's gonna be a great day. 41 tomorrow. 40 Christmas Day. Cloudy on Saturday. Then Sunday. Likely to see a little bit of snow. Now, yeah, that's a real thing here. 38, but it is going to be super duper cold during the overnights. Not going to get above 32 from Saturday into Sunday, and more of the same from Sunday into Monday. So maybe even in the lowlands, we could see a little bit of snow on Sunday.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from where I-5 takes a sharp left toward Portland, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
Good morning to you. It's Thursday here at KMAS and most everywhere else.
What?
Friday in New Zealand, but for most everywhere else, we're still dealing with Christmas Eve here today. We'll check on NORAD to see where old Sandy Claus is up to.
Old Jeff, he's on that NORAD link up.
I gotta follow Santa.
We will mention if you're traveling or we're attempting to travel to Eastern Washington, or you've got relatives over there trying to get over here. 90's closed up. They'll make a decision at daybreak this morning, but they've had a dump of snow. Avalanche situations are right now prevalent, and they shut down I-90. You're not getting over it. We'll give you some details on all that here in just a few moments, but just a traveler's advisory for everybody here this morning on Christmas Eve.
Man, I saw a picture of the Paradise, the Paradise Vista where people go, and it's a 2-story huge building. In the summer, obviously nothing. It's clear and beautiful. People are out there in their shorts. Well, just yesterday from their webcam, the snow is almost up to the apex of the roof.
My goodness.
It's massive.
We're making up for the drought last year.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Man.
All right, so far Santa has delivered 100,000 millions, almost 1 billion gifts so far.
Already?
He was last seen in Hiroshima. He's heading for Nagasaki. We'll be there in 30 seconds.
What?
Slowly making his way across the country, across the world, I guess, is really
breakneck speed for an old guy. He gets around.
Say how fast he's going, but it is definitely very cool as we will maintain contact with Santa this morning. We find out where he'll be.
We certainly will be doing that.
What else is going on? Early morning. We'll get a stock market report, but they're shutting down 10 o'clock our time.
Who is?
The stock market.
Are they?
Shutting down at 1 today.
What the heck's the deal?
Well, it's a light day.
Not much going on there. If there's not much going on there, there's not much going on anywhere.
Folks, you definitely will see Jeff and Dale scurrying about the aisles of
I promise you, we are going to get into some stores
today.
Any
store that's open when we get off the air,
this is ridiculous.
Expect to see us there.
Oh, man.
I got a list, and I've checked it twice, and I says, oh, man, I should have started last week.
Don't expect to get a hold of me this afternoon here at the station. I'll be out.
No, be out.
When the going gets tough, the tough go shopping.
But I hear the sales are
incredible,
better than Black Friday.
Wow. What's that about, huh?
I don't know. What is that about?
I don't know.
All right, 6:17 here at KMAS. A new study from UW finds that the devastating Oso landslide in 2014 wasn't an outlier.
What's that mean?
It's not uncommon.
Okay.
The landslide wiped out the neighborhood north of Seattle. 43 people died. Mm-hmm. It roared down a hillside above the North Fork of the Stillaguamish. Deadliest landslide in U.S. history.
Yes.
Well, university geologists have found that slopes in the area have collapsed every 500 years. And with even greater frequency in the past millennium, every 140 years.
Or so.
So
that... there's been some finger pointing about logging operations and
land
management and all this sort of thing, and sometimes it's nature.
Sure.
And as we recall the tragic events there, the 2 weeks prior, it was dumping. It was pouring rain. And so, they have to do these studies. They have to try to determine the absolute cause. I thought it quite fascinating that they took a look over history and found that there's a rhythm to that whole area and to every place, And so, but to see an increase in the frequency over the last 100 years or so is pretty incredible. And then you go over a millennium. Well, that's what is that? 1,000 years.
18. So I'm just trying to figure out what 140 years ago was. 1915, and then 40 years from that would be 1865.
Yeah, about the Civil War.
Huh. So does that mean that there was a slide?
Probably a big slide around in that time frame. I would suspect so. That's what I'm reading into it, rather than 500 years ago, which would have been in the 1500s.
Probably, something like that.
Arctic drilling rig. No, not Bertha, a different one. Arctic drilling rig has made its home in Port Angeles Harbor and will be departing for Europe soon. We'll talk about that and much more here as we proceed on Christmas Eve. It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale. It's 6:20. We're smiling. Hope to have you dialing for our big holiday giveaway coming up.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Ari Wolf with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Odell Beckham's one-game suspension was upheld after Wednesday's appeal hearing in New York, and Beckham will miss Sunday night's game against the Vikings. The Giants wideout was suspended by the NFL for multiple violations of safety-related playing rules during Sunday's loss to the Panthers. Shortly after the appeal, Beckham took to social media issuing an apology to the Giants, their ownership, and their fans. Brock Osweiler will remain the Broncos' starting quarterback when Denver takes on the Bengals Monday night. Peyton Manning is not expected to be active for the game. Manning will continue to focus on rehabbing his injured foot. On Thursday night, tune in to see Charles Woodson's last home game when the Raiders host the Chargers. And on Saturday, the NFC East title is on the line as Kirk Cousins and the Redskins take on the Eagles. Redskins-Eagles, Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on NFL Network. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Look out in the street there. You know what you don't see? My car, because I had to sell it to pay the lawyer I hired when I got busted for drunk driving. Know what else you don't see? My girlfriend, who decided that a guy with no car and no license and no money was no fun.
Cops are out there cracking down on drunk driving all across the country, and they'll see you before you see them. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Check into cash. The cash you need today is waiting for you at checkIntoCash.com. We make it quick and easy to get the money you need when you need it. Visit CheckIntoCash.com today to apply for an online payday advance up to $700. It only takes 5 minutes to apply, and you can get extra cash in as little as 24 hours. Go to CheckIntoCash.com to get started.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom31.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom31.com. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom31.com.
2015.
This just in, as I speak, moments ago.
There is breaking news. Why look back when you can be in the moment?
Gunshots and explosions can be heard now. Medics are now making their way in. Here's another vehicle squealing off at a high rate of speed.
Very loud bangs happening. Now we're hearing gunfire.
ABC News Radio invites you to hear 2015 as it happened. Listen for it right here.
Tomorrow morning from 6 to 9 on KMAS.
Good morning. This is Jim Morrell from Peninsula Credit Union, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on Newsradio 1030 KMAS.
6:24 on a Thursday here, Christmas Eve. Good morning to you, Daybreak. Marilyn Foster has the news coming up in just a couple of moments. And good news, tomorrow's Christmas, but Christmas has come early for many county employees.
What? Oh, because that is good news. They got some pay raises approved by the commission. Is that?
No, most of the commission.
Yeah, well, it's a majority rule in the American way. So I'm a little confused. It said 2 to none, 2 to 0.
Right.
And then went on to say that one commissioner voted against it. So it would be 2 to 1.
Well,
or maybe abstained from voting.
Probably. Don't want to have it on your record that you didn't want to give anybody a raise or anything. Forbidden leaving. Oh, yeah. The vote was taken, passing 2 to 0. One of the commissioner again said, not voting for that. Well, he can't, but not no.
But not a no. Just not participating. Which is not too dissimilar to the previous vote that was taken earlier in the week about some other topics. Another 2-0.
Participates when the paychecks come in, get into the bank.
Oh, yeah.
To deposit that.
Could be automatic deposit. I'm not sure.
Oh, then that's true. Then I guess he didn't have to actually do much.
Okay. All right. Let's get back to the topics at hand. And one of those topics at hand is being able to travel around here this morning. So we're going to get on board with Twitter and Facebook this morning and see what we can find out about some of the traffic situations, because I-90 closed this morning. Over the evening, and they did so because of, severe amounts of dumpage, lots of snow in the mountain passes. And we mentioned that White Pass was open, and the ski area opens today. But now with all the snow, they're going to be scrambling to keep the roads passable for all the travelers and the holiday revelers that are going to be going to and fro all the ski areas. I think they're all going to enjoy some record crowds here that they haven't had during the holidays for a couple of years. So it's got to be exciting for them. Yeah, 4% pay increase for most of the central services.
Listen to this one.
People.
Kenny, Bill Kenny, County Central Services Director, was just talking about this, like figuring out, so what's going on here? Because they're saying since 2008, the commission decided to cut the staff and no wage increases. So then other counties are saying, hey, why don't you come over here? We'll give you more money. You know, you're a great employee. Unfortunately, your county doesn't see this, but we do. Why don't you come over here? How about this? Department of Community Development, 5 building inspectors in Mason County. Okay? 4 of them have left for better pay. 4 commercial certified inspectors with skills that are difficult to train.
Yes.
So one person stuck around, but 4 others saw the better pay. They said, hey, it's a better deal. And that's kind of what happened.
That's what will happen continually if you're not competitive, especially in a skilled position like that. So certainly something to think about. Avalanche control work has started up on Stevens Pass this morning. And I suspect they'll be doing the same on Snoqualmie Pass as well.
We may see some snow here on Sunday, but
here.
Like
you
here
don't have
in
to go
town.
to the mountains to find it.
But for the next 3 days, looks pretty decent.
Yeah. Cold, though, huh?
Oh, it was really cold this morning on my walk. Feels like 29. Some good wind whipping around, but it's 35 out there. 7 miles an hour. We had an inch of rain yesterday. Boy, it came down.
It really did.
More than I was expecting, for sure.
Yeah, when it dumped, it opened up big time, and it was a windy, stormy moment in time. Right around 6 o'clock last night in the Shelton area.
Mm-hmm.
It was really blowing and dumping. Pretty mellow drive home last night as the temperature dropped and things settled down, and the storm, for the most part, moved on. No rain to speak of this morning. Cool temperatures, though. My truck temperature said 36.
It felt like it was going to start raining or just at the tail end of my walk, and it was really cold. So bundle up, definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
6:29 here at KMAS and KMAS.com.
Yeah.
Harbin, China. 50 seconds from now, you'll be seeing Santa.
What?
Making his way down the chimneys, up and down. NORADSanta.org is the website we're following along with Santa today. It's a lot of fun. Yesterday we were talking about night before Christmas. 'Twas the night before Christmas. I'll have to read that tonight to the kids.
Yes, you got duty now. You got the duty.
We were wondering, Stephanie and I think you and I too, were wondering if the kids are going to be able to be paying attention.
Initially, it's a little long for the young ones.
So do I have to go, ho, ho, ho?
Oh, yeah.
Kind of get into it a little.
Yeah.
It was the night before Christmas. I'll memorize the rest of it.
Even a mouse.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Marilyn Foster. The Mason County Commission approved a pay increase with medical coverage of 4% per the recommendation of County Central Services Director Bill Kenny for county employees. The increase covers pay considerations per memorandum of understanding with 5 of the labor unions contracted with the county. It also includes increases for the non-represented employees and the elected officials of the county. Kenny justified his recommendation to the commission by stating the county is at a crisis and crossroads. He said this is a result of the 2008 commission decision to cut staff and halt wage increases, resulting in the adjacent and like counties recruiting Mason County's trained and skilled employees. Recruitment efforts, according to Kenny, has not netted skilled replacements in the planning, engineering, and public health departments. This is symptomatic of the entire county, and his recommendation on this wage increase is an effort to stop the loss of skilled employees. The vote was taken, passing 2-0, with Commissioners Jeffries and Netherland voting for the wage increase and Commissioner Sheldon voting against. Mason County Commissioners this week approved expanding the Outer Harbor boundary line back to the original UGA boundary line setting. The original boundary line was reset in 2007 and 2008, splitting the marina into 2 local jurisdictions, county and city. This approval corrected the error, putting the entire marina in a single jurisdiction. The Port of Shelton can now move forward with dock improvements, including a new commercial dock in the future. State authorities say they've arrested 10 people in a child sex sting in Pierce County. During the 2-week undercover operation that ended Saturday, detectives posed online as underage girls or parents selling their children for sex. 9 men and 1 woman were arrested after showing up for meetings they'd arranged with detectives. The Washington State Patrol's Missing and Exploited Children Task Force oversaw the operation. Several agencies participated in the sting, including the FBI, Tacoma Police, and the state's attorney's office. Governor Jay Inslee has ordered state corrections officials to stop some prison releases until a hand calculation is done to ensure the offender is being released on the correct date. This week, authorities revealed that more than 3,000 offenders had been mistakenly released early since 2002 because of a computer glitch. A broad fix to the software problem is expected to be in place by early next month. The halt on prison releases would be for offenders potentially affected by the computer error. Inslee says 2 retired federal prosecutors will conduct an independent investigation to figure out why it took so long to discover and fix the problem. Based on a prior Supreme Court ruling, most of the affected offenders won't have to go back to prison. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
Ascend Roofing Company in Shelton's on top of it. 868-2730. Roofing work that speaks for itself.
Hey, just a little note to say thank you for the outstanding work that you, Dennis, and especially Jorge and the crew performed for us on our roofing project. On a scale of 1 to 10, we rate it at 10.5. It was a fantastic feeling from start to finish. Your company is a first-class operation and will definitely give your name to all of our friends and family if they're in need of your services.
You could be the next happy customer by calling Ascend Roofing. 868-2730. Calling all alphas, Cigar Dave is on Sundays from 3 to 5.
The fundamental reason that people smoke cigars is because they enjoy premium hand-rolled cigars. They enjoy the taste, they enjoy the flavor, they enjoy the camaraderie, and they will not allow the enemies of pleasure, whether the enemy of pleasure be the government, whether it be a local city council, they will not allow the enemies of pleasure to take away their right to enjoy a fine premium cigar, a passion that is near and dear to many alphas. And many dames as well.
Never get them tripped up on being PC. Cigar Dave, Sunday afternoons, when there's not baseball or football or something. But every once in a while he surfaces. Just when you thought you could relax.
Get in there.
Good morning for News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3 and KMAS.com on the video and audio there this morning, 6:34. I'm Dale Hubbard. Kyle Wilcher, 20 of his 26 points first half, and Domantas Sabonis adds 15 points, 13 boards. Gonzaga over Loyola Marymount, 85-62 last night. Pretty easy time of it for the Bulldogs, who have beaten Loyola Marymount 27 straight times at home, dating back to February of 1991. That's a long winning streak.
So what else do they do? I mean, do they play any other teams up here? Or they just come up for one day, lose again?
Oh, Loyola Marymount?
And then head home.
I think when they do the West Coast Conference, the Northern Swing, Spokane, maybe a stop in Portland, it looks like.
I guess.
So it'd probably be a Spokane, Portland, North trip, home and away. Because they usually have 2 games per trip scheduled. And same with now, you turn it around, when Gonzaga goes south, they always play two teams that are geographically close when they do their trip to California. And then they all, for the most part.
Both, the Portland game was close too. I mean, about the same, 87-60.
Yeah.
And you were 85-62.
Yeah, so
it's a rough trip.
Loyola Marymount might be having a tough season this year. The Lions are roaring. All right, elsewhere in sports notes, speaking of Portland, 87-79 over Pepperdine last night. The Pilots are 8-7 on the season, but 2-0 in the West Coast Conference. How about that? Just saying. Watch out for them. All the awards have been passed out for the high school honors for football. Lake Stevens quarterback Jacob Eason has been voted the AP Washington State Football Player of the Year for all classifications. State Player of the Year. The announcement was made on Wednesday. This is a voting of sports writers and editors from around the state. He is also the 4A Player of the Year as well, quarterback for Lake Stevens. Congratulations to him. Meanwhile, we've slipped into the throes of basketball season. Last night on KMAS.com, Jeff and I covered the High Climbers and Clover Park Warriors contest in the Mini Dome. Clover Park with a nice, nifty 60-51 victory over Shelton. Olympia, meanwhile, got by Capital last night, 66-46. And in girls hoops last night, Olympia with a 53-34 win over the Lady Cougars. And that is sports notes, other than the fact that we do have NFL action for you tonight That'll put you asleep, even though you're anxious about Santa arriving.
Yeah, so parents, we need the
Put
kids
the
go to
kids in front of
sleep.
the Oakland and San Diego game, and lights out, baby.
It'll be 3 a.m. before you know it.
There it is.
35, clear skies. Good morning. No real rain throughout the day. Actually, nothing until Sunday, where we may see some snow.
What?
That's right, Dale. 38 on Sunday, but the low is 33, and it's going to be chili burgers. We may see some snow. Next week, Tuesday,
There's a
Wednesday.
game on Sunday.
Yeah, no. Is it? It's home, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Last home game of the year.
Those Rams are used to the friendly, warm confines of the Edward Jones Dome. They're not going to know what hit them when they get to the clink.
Whiteout.
Whatever it is. Is it a whiteout? We all wear white.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now from Shelton's Media Row, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. It's Daybreak here. 6:39. Now, Santa's in Beijing, but we've got gifts to give away as our holiday.
What?
What are we doing?
Holiday giveaway.
Holiday giveaway continues. We have been giving away some great. I didn't know if there was anything. I didn't know if there was
a great
special.
question right
I
there.
didn't know if there was some special.
Yeah, I got a
name.
big
Came up
title
with the name
for
of
it.
it.
See, look what's that.
Holiday giveaway 462-1041 462-1041. Dale, tell us what we have.
Well, listen, here's what I've got for you right now. Is a couple of tickets to the Elma Chamber of Commerce big event. It's the Elma Winter Wine Festival called Get Uncorked. And I always feel better after getting uncorked. How about you?
Well, I can tell you that on the 23rd of January, people will be ready to slough off the beginnings of the winter doldrums.
It is. This is quite a lineup. I mean, they've got great entertainment,
20 wineries, live music all day, food and vendors, beer garden. There was a call in yesterday question about that. There is beer.
Yeah.
Silent auction as well.
Yeah. A lot of fun, a lot of activity, a lot of good deals, by the way. All those wineries we're surmising are local-ish, probably Washington state wineries, and probably there's been quite a few wineries that have popped up in the Grays Harbor area that I've enjoyed. There's Westport wineries. There's a lot of them out there along the coast, and it's in vogue. A lot of that happening. So it'd be kind of cool to go to that.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a pair of tickets for you if you'd like. Free admission, again, January 23rd. If you'd like to go to that, you can give us a call this morning at 462-1041. And we'd be happy to give you a pair of tickets or admission for two to that. A little bit of a bonus for you. You get a discount by getting your tickets early, and you can get a hold of the Elma Chamber, elmachamber.org if you want to prepay. But we can give you 2 free passes, and then you can bring the rest of the family on their nickel.
Yeah.
KMAS.
Don't pay for it.
KMAS Daybreak. Good morning. Hi, who's this?
It's Gary. Hello?
Did you say Gary?
Yes, Gary Landis.
Oh, Gary, how you doing?
Gary Landis. Always.
Good.
Good. Hey, how about a little action in Elma for the new year?
That would be great.
Well, Gary, we've got your information. And all you got to do is swing on by the radio station. We've got a certificate there here with your name on it. And you're good to go. You and whomever you'd like to choose can go and accompany you to Elma on the 23rd for their big wine festival.
All right. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks for listening. Have a very happy holiday.
You too.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Just like that, it's just that easy. 642 at KMAS will continue to give away some great things all throughout the day today and into next week as well.
Yes.
ElmaChamber.org is where you can find all the great things that Elma is up to, including heat on the street in the summertime. And their new Chamber of Commerce looks like an old style gas and go kind of place. They've revamped it a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of, I like their logo.
Little,
it does look like the old with the wings and all that stuff.
Yeah, they have
pretty cool.
Pretty nice little website here. They got the rodeo, of course, and Elma's a great little Berg right down the way.
Good little town. Nice, friendly people. You know, I've put away the rivalry blood these many years ago.
Finally, huh?
And I like Elma.
See, look, this is their new Chamber of Commerce.
Wow, it looks like an old gas station.
That's what I said.
Got the visitors. It's a Elma visitor station now. It's not a petrol station.
But it just looks like a gas station. The old flying
That
A.
is a remarkable way of marketing. It's very cool. Like that. So gas up in Elma or something. Right?
6:43, yeah.
Christmas Eve, Jeff, the 24th. And it was the night before Christmas tonight.
All through the house.
Okay, so there is that. You know, I did that one Soldiers Night Before Christmas a few years ago. You remember me doing that?
I do.
That was touching. I can't.
You can't do that without crying. I know you can't. Yeah, Stephanie gets on me all the time for crying. That's American Idol commercial came on again.
Yeah.
Have you seen it yet?
Yes.
With the piano girl and the mom. Did you cry?
Yes, maybe. I'm not saying.
I cried twice, and I already knew what was going to happen.
Listen, I cry at beer commercials.
I made it through the whole commercial. I wasn't looking at it.
Yep, right.
If I could listen to it, I wouldn't cry. But as soon as I looked, and it happened, right, there was some other, it wasn't even it was a scripted show. And I cried.
We're just in touch with our feelings. There's nothing wrong with that. Right?
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Ooh, okay, so the Beatles.
They're streaming this morning.
Rubber Soul, released on this day, 1965.
Your favorite.
50 years ago. Well, somebody's favorite.
It's not your favorite?
Yeah, it is. Rubber Soul is one of my favorite Beatles albums of all time. Really good. I mean, real change for them.
Tell Kaiser to not mess with Simon there.
Be nice to Simon Kaiser.
Kaiser, what are you doing to Simon?
Looks like he's strangling him.
Giving him going for a ride.
Maybe it's a massage. Maybe he's giving Simon a
massage. That's what it is. Kaiser, we're watching you.
Yeah, we got our eyes on you, son.
I like Rubber Soul. That's the one with Norwegian Wood on it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good album.
A great album. And so that happened. Not really a Christmassy event, but it was a musical event. And so we thought we'd bring that up.
They had that two set. That one was blue and one was red. And like the red one was up until 65 or something like that, and then the blue was 65 and past. Are you more of a latter Beatles, kind of when they get into the Yogi stuff, or the early clean cut mop top Beatles?
Well, I used to struggle with that a little bit. Am I too poppish to like the early stuff, or am I hipster and I dig the later stuff, kind of a thing? But when you look at it, as time went on, I'm a coin toss. I like it. I like it.
It is available on most all streaming services this morning, except for Pandora. So re-listen to the Beatles.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
We love hearing from our listeners and sharing their stories with you. Hi, I'm Jody Henke. Today we're featuring an Ohio man who has built a local food system with a network of small farmers as he's living the country life.
Living the country life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic and from previous shows by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com. We'll return to the show after these messages.
If your chicken coop is nicer than your garage, then you may have a passion for poultry. We are looking for some innovative, creative coops just like yours. Enter our Creative Coop Photo Contest brought to you by Cargill Nutrina today. 3 lucky coop owners will each receive free Cargill Nutrina Nature-Wise all-flock feed. There are many ways to enter. You can enter up to 5 photos online at livingthecountrylife.com/Creative Coop Contest or hashtag your Coop Photo Creative Coop Contest on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, or find us on our Facebook page at Living the Country Life. View our website to browse entries and get ideas for your own poultry palace at livingthecountrylife.com/Creative Coop Contest. No purchase necessary. Contest ends at 8:59 p.m. Central Time on December 31st, 2015. Subject to official rules at livingthecountrylife.com/Creative Coop. Void or prohibited. Sponsor Meredith Corporation. Enter your coop photos today at livingthecountrylife.com/Creative Coop Contest.
Benji Balmer wants you to ask yourself every day, who grew my food? A Mount Vernon, Ohio man created the Yellowbird Food Shed, a venture that networks with small farmers and helps them get their goods to local consumers. He contracts with 35 to 45 growers and can tell his customers exactly who is growing their food.
The thing that we do that's a little bit unique is that we buy it. When I drive up to a farm, I pay money on the spot, write a check to the farmer and drive away, and they've got cash in hand. It's not a consignment thing. It's not where we hope we can sell it or we'll do our best to sell it. We now own the product. The onus is on us to go out and make a sale on it and make money on it.
Benji sells these fresh products to colleges, restaurants, and grocery stores. He also sells directly to individuals through a CSA, or Community Supported Agriculture Program. Customers prepay and receive a box of food every week in the spring, summer, and fall. He's also working with small companies that sell value-added products.
We kind of combine veggies with meat with small companies like Shagbark, who are trying to get their chips into places. So we've really become a small food distribution company with the intention of basically allowing these small Ohio businesses that are doing honorable work the right way to hopefully get a foot into the marketplace.
While it's nearly impossible to grow locally every type of food needed for a complete diet, Benji is working to provide as wide a variety of food as possible. We'd like to hear what makes your place special. Tell us about it at livingthecountrylife.com. I'll see you in the country.
Living the Country Life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic, share your tips, and post photos by visiting us online.
Mason County Garbage and Recycling on Johns Prairie here in Shelton is pleased to offer safe and efficient removal services. Mason County Garbage and Recycling is always mindful of environmental standards and is continuously striving for the highest excellence. Mason County Garbage and Recycling, upholding your trust within the community. Questions? Call 426-8729. In Belfair, 275-4590.
Hi, this is Kelly Crabtree from Maple Glen Senior Living, where we believe that Christmas is the best time of year. For the staff and residents at Maple Glen, it's a time for enjoying friends and family and for sending warmest wishes to special people like you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Maple Glen.
Greetings of the season from the folks at the Camilchi Dental Center. They wish you the joys of Christmas and prosperity throughout the new year. Again, best wishes and Merry Christmas from the Camilchi Dental Center.
Hi, this is Brad Patterson from the Mason Transit Authority, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
All right, good morning to you. 6:50 here, KMAS. KMAS.com. It's Christmas Eve.
It is Christmas Eve. I want to take you back a couple of hundred years ago on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Jeff. First of all, the War of 1812 was called off. A couple of things there. It was 1814 that they called off the War of 1812. Hey, take a check here. It's 2 years. We can't keep going with this thing. So the U.S. and Britain signed the Treaty of Ghent.
Huh. On Christmas Eve.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. And then on Christmas Eve, 1818. Okay, going way back here. Because here's a question for you. Where do Christmas carols come from? And how old are some of these Christmas carols? Well, maybe the grandest of them all. You can consider on this day. An organ broke at the Church of St. Nicholas.
Okay.
In Oberndorf, Austria. Oberndorf. The organist there is Franz Gruber. He wrote a song on the guitar. The assistant priest added words and named it Song of Heaven.
Okay. Following you so
far.
far.
The repairman came to fix the organ. So Gruber and Moore sang Song of Heaven for him, just to see what his reaction would be.
Sure.
He liked it.
Focus group.
He liked it so much, he memorized it, and he taught it to other people. And finally, the song became published 22 years after it had been written in 1840. And in 1871, a new English translation appeared in print, complete with a new name and a new opening line. Silent Night, Holy Night.
Wow.
How about that?
How come we don't have the repairman's name?
Well, he
seems to be the one to proliferate this.
Yeah, they don't have...
Where's Franz Gruber? I mean, is Franz probably no relation to Hans Gruber, the bad guy from Die Hard, also a Christmas movie?
Well,
it is a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie because it was Christmas time when all that happened.
All of them. I think the second one as well. But I was wondering, is he getting any of the money off of
Franz?
If he wrote it.
So it's way past royalty time now for those boys.
It's been 20,000 years.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he would have gotten any. Well, and the repair guy will fall into the annals of history as the repair guy. Kind of like the Maytag repair guy. We don't know his name.
Yeah. Oh, that's sad.
Yeah. Several Confederate Army veterans formed a private social club in Pulaski, Tennessee on Christmas Eve, 1865, the Ku Klux Klan. Yikes.
Okay.
Yeah, about 140-ish years ago. And the first sponsored TV show to be broadcast. Hey, a lot of people are watching this TV thing. Maybe we should get some sponsors and have them pay us to put this stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
Great idea. What should we put on? Well, nothing says hardy like Jack Webb. Let's put that Dragnet radio thing on TV. Sergeant Joe Friday. I'm Friday. Joe Friday. And so that's 1953. Dragnet premiered on TV. First sponsored television show ever.
Huh.
First quarterback in the NFL to pass for 4,000 yards in one season.
Yes.
Broadway Joe Namath.
Oh, yeah.
From the JETS, Jets, 1967.
He's the one that messed up the coin toss at the Super Bowl, wasn't he? Just a couple years ago? He had that big...
Yeah, he had that big coat on. And
big...
That's his coat from 1960 whenever, too.
And that was the Macklemore coat.
Is that what it was called?
I don't know. That's what I called it.
Oh, Macklemore likes that. Yeah. So those are some of the events that happened on Christmas Eve over these many years.
6:55 at KMAS. CNBC will have a business radio report for us as a short day for the market. We will have Karen Shade calling in at 8:30, but there's
from
not
home,
much.
She's calling from home.
But not much time after that for the markets to be open.
And they'll close early today?
Yeah, they close at 1
Much
Eastern.
like us. Here comes Santa Claus. What's the?
I'm trying to find some lyrics.
Down Santa Claus Lane. What?
I'm trying to find a certain lyric to a song. The most wonderful time of the year. So I was listening to a podcast on my way in this morning, and they're talking about traditions of Christmas. And one of the Christmas traditions is telling. So it's a paranormal-based podcast, so ghosts and Bigfoot, stuff like this. And so they were talking about a historical tradition of telling ghost stories around Christmas.
Uh-huh.
You ever hear about this?
No.
Like sitting around...
ghost stories around Christmas?
Ghost stories.
No,
right?
Yeah.
So then they go, oh, well, it's kind of... People talk about it, and it's been going on for years. And then Andy Williams, most wonderful time of the year, listen to these lyrics. Parties for hosting, marshmallows for roasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories.
There it is.
And tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. So it's in the song. We all know the words. We sing the songs, but we're not understanding the words.
But nobody questioned it.
So ghost stories is a tradition.
Yeah.
Around the holidays.
So you can put a twist on the night before Christmas tonight.
Maybe.
Scare the heck out of those kids and have everybody in the family hate you.
Watch out for Krampus is coming.
Oh, man,
Jeff
scared me.
There are new movies out.
There is
not just that Star Wars.
Birthdays aplenty.
Even the big man coming up, JC, right? It's his birthday tomorrow.
Big birthday tomorrow. Ooh.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
I'm Chris Maurer, CNBC Business Radio. Stocks are trading in the narrow range on this holiday shortened day. The markets are closing in about 3 hours from now and will be closed all day tomorrow for Christmas. Traders will be keeping a close watch on crude. A bounce in oil prices helped to push stock to close sharply higher during the previous session. Hyatt Hotels is the latest company to suffer a hack attack. The company says its payment processing system was infected with credit card stealing malware in an attack discovered 3 weeks ago. The number of Americans filing for unemployment benefits fell more than expected last week. The Labor Department says first-time claims fell 5,000 to 267,000. That's not too far from levels last seen 42 years ago. Once again, stocks are mixed. The Dow's down 31 points, the Nasdaq higher by 3. Chris Maurer, CNBC.
Happy Honda Days is here. When I think about getting a great deal on a Honda, I'm all,
hey, is it morning yet? Everybody up to the dealer. Let's go. Go, 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 go.
Then I heard every 2016 model comes with a standard rear view camera. It was all like,
no way. That's crazy cakes.
Joyous deals for every side of you. Hurry into the Happy Honda Day sales event now. Well-qualified buyers can get 0.9% APR on the 2016 Accord at your Honda dealer.
See dealer for financing details. If you can't see the difference, why pay the difference? Switch to Dish and see what real value is. Call 877-249-6988. You can also save a bundle when you combine DishNet high-speed internet with your TV service. Call 877-249-6988. Programming starting as little as $29.99, plus access to thousands of movies and TV shows. Stream to your TV, smartphone, or tablet. Call 877-249-6988. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get...
Start your mornings live and local with Daybreak on KMAS Shelton. Join Jeff and Dale weekdays from 6 to 9 on AM 1030 or FM 103.3.
Here's the latest from ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. Victims of violent weather are picking through the wreckage of their homes torn apart by tornadoes. Arkansas, Indiana, and Mississippi were among the targets. ABC's Philip Mena has the latest.
A rash of tornadoes has left at least 7 people dead, dozens more injured, and homes destroyed. At least 24 reported tornadoes touching down across 6 states Wednesday. Perhaps hardest hit was Holly Springs, Mississippi, where a 7-year-old boy was killed.
Extremely warm winter weather in the east has spawned a blanket of fog, and that's triggered holiday flight delays in New York, Atlanta, and Chicago. ABC's Alex Perez tells us some airlines expecting the crush decided they're going to need bigger planes.
Airlines taking precautionary measures, hoping to get you home on time, shifting the time of flights. Some airlines like Delta even breaking out bigger planes. In some cities, using planes that can hold nearly double the number of passengers than usual.
The $5,000 reward still stands for the Texas teen wanted for possible parole violation after avoiding jail for a drunk driving crash by pleading affluenza. ABC's Jim Ryan tells us 18-year-old Ethan Couch could be long gone.
People in the business of finding people say the longer that Ethan Couch and his mom are gone, the greater their chance of being caught. Yes, they may have wealth on their side, but money eventually runs out. What's more, teenager Couch was an avid social network user, and bounty hunters say he's likely to log on and potentially give himself away accidentally.
The job market still has a strong pulse. The number of people filing claims for unemployment benefits dropped 5,000 last week. Thousands have streamed into Bethlehem, the traditional birthplace of Jesus, for a Christmas Eve celebration. An unusual character stole the show at a live nativity scene at a Dallas church. A goat, apparently tired of standing around, leaped into the manger. It was nothing short of a Christmas miracle that the baby Jesus was not being played by a real baby. This is ABC News.
Cricket Wireless is here to make your holidays even brighter. Ready, flip the switch! Get a $100 bill credit when you switch to the Merrier carrier before January 7th. Plus, get the Samsung Galaxy Grand Prime for $29.99. Whoa! Santa's definitely going to know where your house is this year. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Offers in 1716. Offers require not recorded and activation on qualified plan and same transaction. First month service charge due with sale. Bill credit requires 2 service payments within 45 days. Credit received within 60 days. Device purchase not required to receive credit. Basic phones excluded. Fees, other charges, and restrictions apply. See store for offer details.
Another saving secret from Arm & Hammer. Most people aren't crazy about doing the laundry, but everyone loves saving money. Arm & Hammer Plus OxyClean Power Packs makes doing the wash easier with convenient single-dose packs and gives you a savings of up to 50% versus the leading pod. And what's even better? Arm & Hammer Power Packs are the only ones with the 2-in-1 cleaning power of baking soda plus OxyClean Stain Fighters. Arm & Hammer plus OxyClean Power Packs. It has what everyone likes. Big clean, small price.
Protesters in Chicago are threatening to shut down the city's shopping district on Christmas Eve. ABC's Ryan Barrow has the plan.
Demonstrators plan to flood the Magnificent Mile on Michigan Avenue, making it difficult for last-minute shoppers to hit the high-end stores. On Black Friday, following a similar protest, some retailers reported a 50% loss in sales. Reverend Gregory Livingston with the Coalition for a New Chicago.
This is Christmas. It's about the birth of a baby who said that people are more important than money, that it's about hope. It's about peace. It's about a better life. And that's what we're going to have.
The group wants the mayor and state's attorney to step down over the police shooting of Laquan McDonald. Ryan Burrow, ABC News.
The Ohio owners of a Yorkshire Terrier are thrilled he's home safe and sound after being missing for 3 years. Little Rexney walked out the doggy door one night and never came back. He was found in suburban Detroit. A woman took him in, had his chip scanned, and found the owner. How he got there, he's not talking. Perhaps the cat has his tongue. Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Mary Lynn Foster. The Mason County Commission approved a pay increase with medical coverage of 4% per the recommendation of County Central Services Director Bill Kenny for county employees. The increase covers pay considerations per memorandum of understanding with 5 of the labor unions contracted with the county. It also includes increases for the non-represented employees and the elected officials of the county. Kenny justified his recommendation to the commission by stating the county is at a crisis and crossroads. He said this is a result of the 2008 commission decision to cut staff and halt wage increases, resulting in the adjacent and like counties recruiting Mason County's trained and skilled employees. Recruitment efforts, according to Kenny, has not netted skilled replacements in the planning, engineering, and public health departments. This is symptomatic of the entire county, and his recommendation on this wage increase is an effort to stop the loss of skilled employees. The vote was taken, passing 2-0, with Commissioners Jeffries and Netherland voting for the wage increase and Commissioner Sheldon voting against. Mason County Commissioners this week approved expanding the Outer Harbor boundary line back to the original UGA boundary line setting. The original boundary line was reset in 2007 and 2008, splitting the marina into 2 local jurisdictions, county and city. This approval corrected the error, putting the entire marina in a single jurisdiction. The Port of Shelton can now move forward with dock improvements, including a new commercial dock in the future. State authorities say they've arrested 10 people in a child sex sting in Pierce County. During the 2-week undercover operation that ended Saturday, detectives posed online as underage girls or parents selling their children for sex. 9 men and 1 woman were arrested after showing up for meetings they'd arranged with detectives. The Washington State Patrol's Missing and Exploited Children Task Force oversaw the operation. Several agencies participated in the sting, including the FBI, Tacoma Police, and the state's attorney's office. Governor Jay Inslee has ordered state corrections officials to stop some prison releases until a hand calculation is done to ensure the offender is being released on the correct date. This week, authorities revealed that more than 3,000 offenders had been mistakenly released early since 2002 because of a computer glitch. A broad fix to the software problem is expected to be in place by early next month. The halt on prison releases would be for offenders potentially affected by the computer error. Inslee says 2 retired federal prosecutors will conduct an independent investigation to figure out why it took so long to discover and fix the problem. Based on a prior Supreme Court ruling, most of the affected offenders won't have to go back to prison. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
2015.
This just in, as I speak, moments ago,
There is breaking news. Why look back when you can be in the moment?
gunshots and explosions can be heard now. Medics are now making their way in. Here's another vehicle squealing off at a high rate of speed.
Very loud bangs happening. Now we're hearing gunfire.
ABC News Radio invites you to hear 2015 as it happen. Listen for it right here. Tomorrow morning from 6 to 9 on KMAS.
Gillis Auto Center in Shelton. Best deals, best price, best trade, and low payments. And when you think Ford and think selection, think family-owned Gillis Auto Center with over 350 new vehicles available. And right now, Ford rebates up to $4,750 on select vehicles or 0% financing on many new models. There are no second stickers at Gillis. Our pricing's competitive with all the big city dealers. Plus, our Mason County sales tax is lower, and you get more for your trade-in at the City Center Matlock exit and 24/7 at GillisAutoCenter.com.
Dirk slides past Shaq. The Spurs and Warriors keep on winning. Hi, everybody. Todd Ant reporting on sports. Dirk Nowitzki hit 2 critical baskets for the Mavericks against the Nets in Brooklyn last night, the first coming in the second quarter.
Read by Dirk, slips out of the screen. Down to Dirk from 15. Is this the one? Yes, it is. Dirk Nowitzki, number 6 on the all-time NBA scoring list.
On KESN, Nowitzki moving past Shaquille O'Neal. The other big shot coming with 19 seconds left in overtime.
Down to Dirk as he checks the clock against Johnson. Left baseline, leads in and scores.
And that was the eventual game winner. Dallas sank the Nets 119-118. 7 straight wins for the red-hot Spurs.
Into the paint, pulls up from 13, off to the left wing, open 3. Kawhi Leonard, Kawhi now.
On WOAL, Kawhi Leonard 19 points, and San Antonio hammered Minnesota 108-83. They improved to 25-5. And Golden State knocked off Utah 103-85, improving to 27-1. It's the best start in NBA history before Christmas. The Cavaliers focused on their game Wednesday night and beat the Knicks 91-84. LeBron James made sure his team was not looking ahead to the Christmas Day matchup against the Golden State Warriors.
Memories will come back as soon as you walk into the building, but also understand it as one of 82, and I'm not going to put everything into this game.
James scored 24 points. Kevin Durant and the Thunder had little trouble with the struggling Lakers.
Kevin across the timeline, off the stutter step crossover, beats Bryant, cycles between defenders, down the lane, floats a runner that goes from 6. Kevin knifing between both Bryant and Hibbert, smiling, heading back down the floor.
On WWLS, Durant finished with 21 points in Oklahoma City's 120-85 victory. 2 college bowl games last night, the GoDaddy Bowl from Mobile, Alabama. Georgia Southern's Fabian Upshaw took over.
He's got the angle and the speed, and he's in again.
On ESPN, 4 touchdowns for Upshaw, Georgia Southern, 58-27 over Bowling Green. And in San Diego, the Poinsettia Bowl, Boise State cruised 55-7 over Northern Illinois. NFL, Giants receiver Odell Beckham Jr. lost his appeal. He will sit out Sunday night's game against the Vikings. College hoops, all the top 25 teams won, including Oklahoma and Louisville. Todd Ant, ABC Sports.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3, and we are streaming our audio and our video this morning on KMAS. Jeff, fill in the blank.
.com.
Oh, boy, that's the way we roll it. Mm-hmm. And we're certainly glad to have y'all hanging with us here this morning. 60-51, the final last night as the Clover Park Warriors defeated the High Climbers on KMAS.com last evening. We have another game for you. Video stream coming up next. This is coming next Tuesday, the 29th. Mm-hmm. Ladies invade the mini dome. Lady Climbers will host Hoquiam on that broadcast. Will start a little bit before 7 o'clock. Join Jeff and myself for that. Elsewhere around the area last night in boys hoops, the Olympia Bears defeated Capital 66-46, and girls found Ole also winners 53-34 over the Cougars. Now, the Cougars, speaking of which, the Washington State Cougars football team is getting ready for the Sun Bowl. It's happening Saturday. We'll begin our coverage at 9 in the morning. The kickoff is scheduled for 11 from El Paso, and it is the Cougs and the Canes, as in hurricanes. Yeah, the Miami Hurricanes, the U, they used to call it. They used to be a formidable power. My goodness, they were good. Fallen on hard times here recently, but show up with an 8-4 record, and they'll give the Cougars everything they can to try to bump them off. While the Huskies will be playing on Saturday, too, Heart of Dallas Bowl, and that will be, in Dallas, against Southern Mississippi. M-I, crooked letter I. Humpback I. That's how I learned how to spell Mississippi. Also, we will mention that there is Thursday night football action for you tonight, as it is the NFL primetime. Oakland Raiders hosting the San Diego Chargers, the Raiders and the Chargers.
This will be the last game to see Woodson on TV.
Yes.
Big time player for the Raiders since 2009. He was like one of their number one draft picks.
Last home game for Woodson. Charles Woodson, extraordinarily gifted athlete, and hopefully, probably, I don't know if he'll be a Hall of Famer or not. He should be. He's done well. Unfortunately, hanging in there with a really dysfunctional organization there in Oakland. They're turning it around. They're making strides, but had a lot to overcome with the passing of Al Davis a couple of years ago, and a little bit of confusion in the years leading up to his passing, as well as the last couple of years. So, but they're getting better, and they're putting up better numbers. They've got this young quarterback. They've got a strong future in the AFC West. Watch out for the Raiders, not this season, but I think next year, good chance they'll make the playoffs. Another team that's surprising me is Kansas City. They're playing really good football, and they may even overtake Denver for the AFC West title this year. I believe those two teams will have a season-ending battle next week. In the meantime, Denver is hosting... Oh, goodness gracious. Well, they've got they had a big controversy, and Osweiler is starting. Wondering if Peyton Manning was ready to come back yet. No. Speaking of people coming back, Marshawn Lynch, is he ready to come back yet? No, but maybe soon, maybe as soon as next week before the playoffs begin. Tom Cable, coach of the Seahawks, said when Marshawn Lynch comes back, he'll have to readjust to the new offense.
Uh-oh. Really?
Yeah. How about that? Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting statement by Tom Cable yesterday, and I thought it was pretty cool. All right, Seahawks currently much better than they were in their Week 1 overtime loss to the St. Louis Rams. Expect Seattle to make that point loud and clear on the field Sunday. Rams have given the Seahawks trouble in recent years. You might remember the special teams trick kick, and they beat Seattle last October 28-26. Seattle's already earned a playoff berth, and but you know what? Just because Seattle's punched their ticket to the postseason doesn't mean they won't take this weekend seriously. They look to exact vengeance on a division rival in front of the 12th man, final home game of the regular season. And so Russ Wilson, meanwhile, will look to continue this incredible passing streak that he's on. Over the last 5 games, 19 touchdowns, no interceptions, and has not had a quarterback rating of less than 128.3 throughout those 5 games. Be a raucous crowd on Sunday, and we begin our coverage at 11.
Yep.
Live from CenturyLink Field. Whoa, oh.
All right, so Sunday here locally, we may see some snow. I'll see what it looks like up at the Clink. 35 right now, no rain today, 41 will be the high. We had over an inch of rain yesterday here at Sanderson Field. 39 tomorrow, Christmas Day. Saturday, more clouds, 40. And then, a potential for snow on Sunday. Next week, some rain on Tuesday. But other than that, clear skies as we move into 2016. 716 KMAS.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email, or Facebook. Now, from somewhere in the wilderness of the Olympic Peninsula, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. Sandy Claus was just in Macau, and now he's going to be in Brunei in about 4 minutes or so, already given over 1.3 billion gifts to all the good little boys and girls.
You know, for a guy that's as physically active as Santa Claus, you'd think he'd be a little slimmer.
But how physically active is he, really? I mean, it's a day a year.
1 billion prizes, gifts in one day.
Yeah, but, I mean... What about the other 364 days?
Well, he doesn't do anything.
He doesn't do anything.
You're right.
He eats He's got to
It's lucky he
maintain.
doesn't have the big heart attack there on Christmas Day.
That is stressful.
Yeah.
You know what else is stressful is shoveling snow. It can cause heart attacks.
It can. Are we going to be doing that in the future?
We may have to shovel some snow on Sunday. I'm not saying it's going to be a lot of snow, but it could
dig
be
out. I'm going to dig out on
it. Santa needs some winter fat on him, like a grizzly bear.
Need a little Christmas.
He's stuck in North
right
Pole
this very moment.
all the time. I'm still on these ghost stories for Christmas. This is
holiday giveaway, kids. 462-1041. Give us a call. We'll do caller's choice this morning. I think I've got at least one of everything here.
Okay.
So you need some dental work. I got a $50 gift certificate for that. You need some roof work done. I've got a $60 gift certificate for that. I've got things covered, don't I? If you're hungry, I got a $10 gift certificate for a delicious steak dinner up at the LC3 on Thursday nights. I don't know if they're doing that exactly tonight or not, but you can always call them to check.
I know most bars continue on with their. I mentioned yesterday that it's a Thursday.
Yeah.
So I would have done karaoke.
Yes.
If I would have been working. Gosh, that was like 10 years ago now.
And if you're so inclined to party in Elma in January, got a pair of tickets for you to attend the 9th annual wine tasting festival at the Grays Harbor Event and Convention Center there at the fairgrounds.
It's going to be a big event. Heart by Heart is going to be there.
Yeah.
Bob Rivers is he a singer for Heart? Is he a musician for this band? What does he do?
Yeah, he's
I know what he is.
He's a keyboardist and a vocalist as part of this Heart by Heart. Also, they have Randy Hansen, guitar legend, Hendrix impersonator.
Right.
Half-brother of Jimi Hendrix or something like that. They've got a couple of the original members of Heart on the band, Mike DeRozier on drums and Steve Fossen on bass. A couple of gals singing the Wilson Brothers stuff, Magic Man, Barracuda, and Crazy on You.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Christmas is a time for enjoying friends and family, for spreading cheer and goodwill. For LC3, it's also a time to send warmest wishes to the special people who they number among their friends and customers. Best wishes from LC3.
Greetings of the season from the folks at the Economic Development Council of Mason County. They wish you the joys of Christmas and prosperity throughout the new year. Again,
best wishes and happy holidays from the EDC.
This is Brian with the LaFlame Group at Eagle Home Mortgage, and we're here to present your real estate resource Mondays at 8:10 on Daybreak. Tune in and get to know the people that help you make the biggest decision of your life.
Real Estate Resource with Brian LaFlame from Eagle Home Mortgage. Mondays at 8:10 on Daybreak with Jeff and Dale. Learn how to make sense of the local home buying process.
Join me on Mondays as I talk with local professionals who help you every step of the way in your home purchasing process.
Mason General Hospital and Family of Clinics leads the way with patient-centered care, improving the quality of care and focusing on the cost of health care while coordinating care, maximizing new technologies, and more efficient use of resources. Mason General's is transforming healthcare delivery. Coordinated care follows the patient's ongoing treatment, linking all their providers via the electronic medical record. With the patient at the center of the comprehensive and individualized health plan, the patient-provider partnership enables preventative, well-managed healthcare and better outcomes. Patient first at Mason General Hospital and Family of Clinics.
Mason General Hospital and Family of Clinics. Equal opportunity provider, translation services provided.
Mason General and Family of Clinics.
Start your mornings live and local with Daybreak on KMAS Shelton. Join Jeff and Dale weekdays from 6 to 9 on AM 1030 or FM 1033.
Hi, this is Jeremy Hicks from North Mason Regional Fire Authority, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS 1030.
7:23 here at KMAS and KMAS.com on a Thursday morning, Christmas Eve. Follow the links or watch Daybreak Live right on the front page of KMAS.com this morning. And last night you can see the replay of Dale and I down at the mini dome for the boys game against Clover Park. 60-51 the final score, with Clover Park winning that one. But check out the video cast. We'll do that again on Tuesday. That'll be the 29th, coming up on the end of the year here next, a week from today, or when is that?
Hey, where did our royalty-free Christmas music go, Jeffy? Well, better than no Christmas music,
it's
right?
Just about the same as me going.
I don't want to get in trouble with the YouTubers.
I don't think it matters. I think we'll get in trouble regardless.
Little drummer boy or something. I don't care.
Does Barry want to talk to us on the phone?
Well, he just wanted to know if the stream was going.
I think the stream is going. The video stream is going.
He's on the stream of yesterday's show.
Oh yeah. I had some hard times getting it all figured out, but I think we're ready to go now. It's back on the front page of KMAS.com. What did you want, Drummer Boy?
Oh yeah, I just threw that one out there. I-90 right around Snoqualmie Pass was shut down overnight. Heavy snowfall, high avalanche danger. Officials tweeted last night that an 80-mile stretch of I-90 would be closed until daylight today. Multiple collisions, spin-outs, avalanche control work all closed the interstate around the pass numerous times in the past few days. The winter storms continue to bring snow to the Cascades. We're going to lighten up on precipitation for a day or two, but the temperatures are not going to warm much. Not much snow is going to go away anywhere. And then you're saying we've got a pretty good chance of some snow, especially up in the Cascades on Sunday.
Yeah.
So that would be people going back home after the holiday. May have to stay an extra day. So don't change the betting yet. There we go. Boy, I'm Christmassy now. Thank you.
I mean, whatever. I guess if we get dinged, we get dinged. I'm going to play some real music here this morning.
Okay. All right, knock yourself out. A new study from the University of Washington finds that the devastating Oso landslide in 2014 was not an outlier. And what that means is the landslide, which left 43 people dead when it roared down the hillside North Fork of the Stillaguamish, still's the deadliest landslide in U.S. history. But the geologists have found that the slopes in the area have collapsed every 500 years, and even with greater frequency every 140 years or so here in the past 1,000 years. So it's an ongoing troubled spot, geographically speaking. And sometimes there's a lot of controversy about global change, global warming, and those sorts of things. And there is always change on the globe, climate-wise, and there's always a climate change going on constantly, continually. And there are cycles where the planet warms, and then it cools, and then it warms, and then it cools. And slides occur, and that sort of thing, and they come and they go. And you got to think of it in a global sense. And, we're just here for our short time on the planet. Planet's been here for a long time, and we'll probably be here for a long time after all of us are gone. So these are things you got to kind of put in perspective a little bit when you're talking about, well, how, why Oso, what happened there? Did we do something wrong? And you always have the guilt thing going and all that. And sometimes things just happen because the earth calls the shots, and nothing you can do to change its mind. Dead humpback whale, young one too, just a yearling, washed ashore in Gig Harbor. It has now been hitched to a boat and towed to Tacoma. Its skeleton will eventually be placed on display. The 23-foot-long whale was reported on the 18th, towed across the Tacoma Narrows yesterday, and was to be placed on a flatbed tow truck and driven back to Gig Harbor to a farm. But apparently it is not going to.
That's an interesting story.
Just an update on that. Yeah. And boy, Spokane mayor is getting a lot of complaints over how he handled allegations of sexual harassment against a former police chief, Frank Straub. Big doings over there in the Inland Empire. Most recent complaint contends that Condon, the mayor, failed to provide a safe work environment for women in the Spokane Police Department. Straub has denied the accusations of sexual harassment, and that still has to go to court.
Is this all part of the story where there was a bunch of cops together at a party or something like that? Was that this Spokane story?
Yeah, no. Was that a bunch of cops at a party, or was it a bunch of lawyers at a party over on the peninsula?
That was a different story.
So
this was a inter-police, I think, party.
Okay.
And the guys
got carried away or something. I don't know.
I wouldn't characterize it like that, but yeah.
Okay.
Arctic drilling rig that has made its home in Port Angeles Harbor expected to depart for Europe. This is not the Polar Star that headed up from Seattle to Alaska and then back. This is a different one. The Polar Pioneer.
All right.
Has been welded to a ship owned by a company from the Netherlands, and a representative of the U.S. division of that company, Dockwise Shipping, says, hey, we're ready to go. We're heading over to Europe. But that'd be a long trek.
Yeah.
From Port Angeles to Europe.
And other headline news here quickly. A suspected drunken driver has been charged with vehicular homicide. You recall the crash that killed 2 women in a car when they were broken down on I-5 in Federal Way about a week or so ago. The News Tribune reports 29-year-old Roselle Harris of Renton is charged in the December 17th crash, killed Samantha Aggie and her 31-year-old daughter, Everline McMillan, both of Puyallup. Very tragic story there. So those are some of the things that are going on here around the Northwest, as we mentioned. I-90 trying to dig out after a tremendous amount of snowfall over the evening, and a lot of avalanche control has been going on, and they can't really do much at night, so they will evaluate here at Daybreak and determine whether or not the pass is, in fact, passable. 7:30 now on Daybreak with Jeff and Dale and News Time. Mary Lynn Foster.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Mary Lynn Foster. The Mason County Commission approved a pay increase with medical coverage of 4% per the recommendation of County Central Services Director Bill Kenny for county employees. The increase covers pay considerations per memorandum of understanding with 5 of the labor unions contracted with the county. It also includes increases for the non-represented employees and the elected officials of the county. Kenny justified his recommendation to the commission by stating the county is at a crisis and crossroads. He said this is a result of the 2008 commission decision to cut staff and halt wage increases, resulting in the adjacent and like counties recruiting Mason County's trained and skilled employees. Recruitment efforts, according to Kenny, has not netted skilled replacements in the planning, engineering, and public health departments. This is symptomatic of the entire county, and his recommendation on this wage increase is an effort to stop the loss of skilled employees. The vote was taken, passing 2-0, with Commissioners Jeffries and Netherland voting for the wage increase and Commissioner Sheldon voting against. Mason County Commissioners this week approved expanding the outer harbor boundary line back to the original UGA boundary line setting. The original boundary line was reset in 2007 and 2008, splitting the marina into 2 local jurisdictions, county and city. This approval corrected the error, putting the entire marina in a single jurisdiction. The Port of Shelton can now move forward with dock improvements, including a new commercial dock in the future. State authorities say they've arrested 10 people in a child sex sting in Pierce County. During the 2-week undercover operation that ended Saturday, detectives posed online as underage girls or parents selling their children for sex. 9 men and 1 woman were arrested after showing up for meetings they'd arranged with detectives. The Washington State Patrol's Missing and Exploited Children Task Force oversaw the operation. Several agencies participated in the sting, including the FBI, Tacoma Police, and the state's attorney's office. Governor Jay Inslee has ordered state corrections officials to stop some prison releases until a hand calculation is done to ensure the offender is being released on the correct date. This week, authorities revealed that more than 3,000 offenders had been mistakenly released early since 2002 because of a computer glitch. A broad fix to the software problem is expected to be in place by early next month. The halt on prison releases would be for offenders potentially affected by the computer error. Inslee says 2 retired federal prosecutors will conduct an independent investigation to figure out why it took so long to discover and fix the problem. Based on a prior Supreme Court ruling, most of the affected offenders won't have to go back to prison. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
I'm attorney Harold Carr. During the past 25 years, more than 8,000 people have trusted me to handle their personal injury cases. I understand how an injury can disrupt your life and cause financial hardship for you and your family. At the law firm of Harold Carr, we have 5 attorneys and 19 staff members experienced with negotiating and litigating with insurance companies. So if you feel the insurance company is not dealing with you fairly, call me, Harold Carr. Let us deal with the insurance company so you won't have to.
Car accident? Call Carr or visit us online at haroldcarrattorney.com.
Tune in all season long to NFL Insider on Westwood One. Hi, this is Mark Malone. Join me each week as we whip around the league and break down the NFL. We'll hear from today's stars and yesterday's heroes as James Lofton sits down with a fellow member of the Hall of Fame. We'll also check in with former greats Rod Woodson and Donovan McNabb to help us break down all the latest NFL news. That's NFL Insider right here.
Sunday morning at 6:30 on KMAS.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3 KMAS.com, the audio and the video there for your listening and viewing enjoyment. I'm all resplendent in my green and red. And you're green, Seahawk green.
Blue Thursday.
And you got
deal with it.
You got a red band, so you're Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
So you're in.
I'm all in.
You're in with the in crowd. Sports notes for you from last night game on KMAS.com, our video stream of Shelton High Climber basketball falling short to a Clover Park Warrior team, 60-51, the final. Pretty good game all night long, though. Pretty good. Intense game for the boys, and Olympia Bears with a comfortable 20-point victory over the Capital Cougars last night. Meanwhile, in girls action, Ole prevailed over Capital by a final of 53-34. A game on KMAS AM and FM last night. Gonzaga Bulldogs, game 2 of the West Coast Conference for them, and they were in Spokane, and they blasted Loyola Marymount 85-62. They have not lost at home to the Lions, the Loyola Marymount Lions, since 1991.
Wow.
Spanning some 27 home games in a row against the Loyola team, and they've done 13 wins in a row, home and away, since they've lost to Loyola Marymount. Also, we might mention, too, their other opponent this past week was Pepperdine, who lost to Portland last night by about 10 points. And so there's Gonzaga sitting atop the West Coast Conference with 2 victories and off to a flying start once again here as 2015 and 16 rolls on. Now, the Cougars, not all bad. They're at the Diamond Head Classic in Hawaii. They have lost a couple of games there, but they're in Hawaii. So they're not like crying big alligator tears or anything. 63-59, the final was the consolation semifinal against Northern Iowa. I think that eliminated Washington State from any further basketball, but they'll get to probably stay a day or two longer before having to pack up and head back to the Palouse. The Cougars football team is getting ready to take on Miami in the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. So this is one time when the basketball players were going like, I'm glad I'm a basketball player. I'm in Hawaii. They went to El Paso. Football team, though, is excited about it. It's a postseason game for them and a chance for a little national notoriety. Air Leach will air it out against a Miami team that scores pretty well themselves, and so it should be a wild and woolly Sun Bowl, and that happens Saturday after Christmas, the 26th, and we begin coverage at 9 a.m. Kickoff is set for 11 on Saturday, and the Huskies are in action on Saturday as well, as they have their bowl game. It is the Heart of Dallas bowl game, and they're taking on, Northern Illinois. Southern Miss. No, Northern Illinois lost to Boise State 55-7 last night in the Poinsettia Bowl in San Diego. So there you go. That's sports.
All right, the South Sound forecast here locally. Cloudy throughout the rest of the day. No real rain. Now, some snow maybe on Sunday. I did take a sneak peek at Seattle weather, and it's going to be nice. There's not going to be any snow. We could see it here, though. Rain Tuesday. Other than that, though, we're in for a nice little stretch here. 10 days, wrap it up this year. Put a bow on it, if you will.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from the capital of the great state of Washington, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
All right, good morning to you. It is Daybreak here, 462-1041, listener line. Love to hear from you.
From y'all. Hey, big doings coming up Saturday night at the Performing Arts Center over at Shelton High School. The day after Christmas, let's get out of the house, kids, and go enjoy some bluegrass.
I love it.
It's the Holiday Winter Bluegrass Festival being put on by your Christmastown Kiwanis folks, the same people who bring you bluegrass from the forest. And it is exciting. We have Greg Linder and Dwayne Wilson coming into the studio with us this morning, maybe packing some instruments, or I know if Greg gives us a CD, we're screwed, right? We don't even have a CD player.
I can probably figure something out, but yeah, we don't have any CD players hooked up anymore.
Yeah. Can you put one in the computer and play it on the computer and run it through the board? I only ask because he may. Or maybe we'll just chat.
I can find... Runaway Train is on iTunes.
Oh, yeah.
I can find them that way.
Okay. All right. So that's one of the bands.
That way as well.
It's pretty cool. They've got a couple of kids that are in the military institutes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so exciting. And then they managed to get home for the holidays. And what do they want to do? They want to reunite with their bandmates and play a little bluegrass. So indeed, they get that opportunity this Saturday. Really impressive stuff. And so we'll talk to those guys, Greg and Dwayne, about that here coming up in the next hour or so.
We were gifted some wonderful people today. Ricky Martin's birthday, 44. Lemmy's birthday from Motorhead.
Livin' La Vida Loca. You got to say
people
that.
People know who Ricky Martin is.
Well, not everybody. And they'll go, yeah, he did that song. That's what I'd have said. And then, La Vida Loca.
You don't even know who played in the football games yesterday, so I'm not going to use you as a metric here. Ricky Martin is 44.
That's a good move.
Lemmy from Motorhead is 70. I cannot believe Lemmy from Motorhead is 70. Motorhead still rocks harder than any of you. Motorhead, Lemmy. Plus, it's a great name. Ryan Seacrest is having a birthday today.
He is 20 years old.
41 today.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. And the late, great Howard Hughes, born in 1905, died in 76, recluse. He had a major fear of dirt and germs.
Multimillionaire.
He had the spruce goose.
Yes.
And you can see the spruce goose on your way down Oregon Way, Woodland.
Is it there, or is it at Huntington Beach in California?
No, it's in Oregon.
Okay.
It's right near.
I know there's a museum there.
Where is it? Is it Woodland?
Museum. I don't remember the town in Oregon.
I think it's near the. It's kind of near where you can go.
Must just drive people crazy listening to this.
I love it. Spruce Goose, Oregon.
They're screaming at us.
I think it's near where
There.
it's in McMinnville.
McMinnville.
I can see that.
Home of the McMinnville people.
The Hughes H4 Hercules, otherwise, a.k.a. the Spruce Goose.
Okay. All right. Very good. Now, I stand corrected, and you are clarified.
What else is going on?
And purified.
Nobody else is really having a birthday, unless you are. Big birthday tomorrow.
There's one big birthday tomorrow that trumps all the others. My cousin Mikey is having his birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday to Mikey.
Yes.
All right. It is 7:42 at KMAS and KMAS.com. We thank you for tuning in with us here on a Thursday. We're tracking Santa. He was just in Perth, Australia, and is heading for the settlement on Christmas Island. He'll be there in about 35 seconds or so. He's been working up and down, moving his way here from right to left. If you're looking at a map of the Earth, started out kind of near, China, New Zealand, up and down, up and down, up and down. He'll be at 1.4 billion gifts delivered already. All the good little boys and girls.
Wow.
Some friends that have their kids on the naughty list.
Oh, really?
Some mistruths on teeth brushing in order to play video games.
Really?
So now they're on the naughty list, right?
Yeah.
But, and now tell me what you think about this. The kid says, well, I mean, we'll still get gifts from you, meaning parents or family.
So they're just trumping the Santa Claus thing.
They're saying, meh.
How old are these kids?
No, they're older than that. I think they're maybe 10-ish. One's 10, I think. So then the other question is, should we should all the gifts be from Santa on a Christmas?
No.
Should have some parent gifts.
Yes.
But then if you say you're on the naughty list, you're not going to get any gifts. Then the kids can come back and say, well, Santa may not give us anything, but you're still going to give us stuff.
Well, if you're being so naughty that Santa doesn't want to give you gifts, then I'm going to hold my gift too. You're being really bad now. You got to change your role.
I never even knew about this, but another family friends of ours are going through a struggle of, well, there's like one more perfect gift to give to this kid, but the other sibling is already up 2, for equity.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that was a thing.
Yeah.
Well, he got 6 and you got 8.
Yeah. There's
big fights.
Yeah. Keep track of that stuff.
I got it. I mean, growing up an only child, I had no idea that was a thing.
So you got to think. Because being an only child, you got 6, and then you got 6 more.
I got 6 in the morning and then 6 in the afternoon.
And then pouted.
When the parents,
I got 12.
And then when the parents split, it was like,
oh, man.
Exponential.
Yeah. Did the big time.
Well,
you guys should have done this earlier. Long time ago.
Oh, that's terrible.
That is terrible. That is terrible. New dating app. Gives you the opening lines and everything like.
Well, you don't have to do anything.
You click here often. We'll give you those and a lot of frivolity and nonsense here on Christmas Eve, 7:45. Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Taylor Shellfish is a proud sponsor of the Environmentally Sound program. For 5 generations of Taylor stewards of a healthy and prosperous Puget Sound. In partnership with nature, Taylor Shellfish brings you the freshest, most sustainable shellfish you'll ever eat. Visit their store at 136 Southeast Lynch Road. Open daily from 10 to 6. And they're online at TaylorShellfishFarms.com. Green Diamond Resource Company has been on the landscape for over 120 years here in Mason County, growing and nurturing our working forests. These forests provide the best of all worlds: clean air and water, protection for fish and wildlife, areas for hunting, fishing, and other recreation, all while growing essential wood products from lumber to paper to renewable energy. At Green Diamond, stewardship is one of our core values and our business. We're proud of our role in keeping Mason County and Washington green.
Hi, this is Alex Jones on KMAS News Radio. And I'm basically here exposing this. I told you about militarization of police 20 years ago. I told you about the plan for gun confiscation. I told you about the PDDs. Now we're far down the rat hole, and they're now want to do 10-state giant drills with plain clothes, doing, quote, suspicious things, and practicing taking over local government, practicing taking out civilians, and snatch and grabs. And of course it has dual applications for overseas. But the main mission is a PSYOP.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom31.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom31.com. Go to freedom31.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom31.com.
Hi, it's Dale from the Daybreak Show, inviting you to join Jeff Slakey and myself every morning from 6 till 9. We have what we think is a pretty compelling mix of news, information, and interviews.
Hi, this is Dick Taylor from the Port of Shelton.
Hi, this is Mike Patty, Assistant Chief with Central Mason Fire and EMS.
This is Detective William Adam at the Mason County Sheriff's Office.
This is Commissioner Randy Netherland, and you're listening to Daybreak.
Daybreak.
Daybreak. Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS.
On KMAS.
On Newsradio 1030 KMAS.
Get ready. It's time to tee it up with Keith Jones.
Are you going to hit the shot that you need to hit? Or are you going to be trying something new just because it looks fancy? So one of, the basic truths, the self-evident truths that we have in the book is that you always choose functional over fancy.
Tee it up with Keith Jones.
Hi, this is Alex Jones, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Anyway, we got 10 minutes here before 8 o'clock, and Greg Linder's out in the lobby. He'll be in to talk about the Winter Bluegrass Festival coming up on Saturday. Also, Saturday is the Sun Bowl.
With some authority on this.
We've got the Cougs on the radio taking on the Canes. Yeah, the U, as they used to be called, Miami Hurricanes, the U of Miami.
Yeah.
Used to be big-time schools. They got a couple 30 for 30 documentaries on their rise and subsequent fall. Some big games over the years involving Miami.
Yes, indeed. One was Miami and the University of Washington Huskies back in the Don James era. It was a big game.
I think another one was Miami and the Sooners. Is that where Bosworth went?
Yes, he went there. Oklahoma also played the Huskies in a big game, too, and the Huskies won that one. And I can remember that because the Oklahoma Sooner schooner was inadvertently out in the middle of the field at the wrong time, and they got chastised for that. And there was a big ballyhoo about that, and that was a game against the Washington Huskies in a bowl game. Big bowl game. Again, I think that also was the Don James era. We had some high-profile games beyond the Rose Bowl for the Huskies in those days as they were battling for national recognition, national championship status on a pretty regular basis back then, too. Wow. Those halcyon days of Husky football.
That was back when I remember, gathering for Rose Bowl or, like 8 or 12 bowl games.
Yeah.
And the big deal was, well, we're going to all go over. We used to always go over to the Deans and watch the Rose Bowl. And the Huskies seemed to always be in the Rose Bowl. And it was a very exciting time.
Yeah.
And now there's a gazillion of these silly bowl games.
Jeff. You're right. There are a gazillion of them. Finding luck with online dating, but at a loss for words? He asked. Well, there's an app for that. Hinge. You heard of that dating app? It connects users to friends.
No, and I wouldn't admit if I did.
Allows them to swipe right if they're interested, swipe left if they're not, and going to roll out a new feature this next Tuesday. It will make it easier to craft an opening line that'll spark your match's interest. Beginning Tuesday, users who have the new updated app will be able to answer as many yes or no questions as they want about various life experiences, whether they've missed a flight, whether they've been to Thailand, or have been suspended from school. When two users match, Hinge will let them know the rarest experience they most have in common, providing the perfect icebreaker without falling back on cheesy, retreaded lines. I think dating is all about finding a connection, some mutual interest or shared experience, said the founder and CEO of Hinge, Justin Unhinged McLeod. We're trying to really help people get to that level. So they've tested the feature. Its average user answered about 120 questions, and they can answer as few or as many as they want. And among the top experiences and traits Hinge saw people bond over most were during testing were being suspended from school, being a lefty, and I think they meant literally being a left-handed person and not being a lefty of political persuasion, and having a wild time at Mardi Gras.
This is probably not a bad idea.
No, I think it works. It would work good. Have you seen a movie that just came out?
I mean, those kind of, yeah. It is nice to have a little, so let's think about this as a job interview. If you go to a job interview, you're supposed to do a little research on the company. So you can come back, and when it's your time to ask questions in the interview process, so you guys are blah, 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 Fortune 5, blah, 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 blah. So then it looks like you're engaged. Now, if these people come with prepared knowledge, and they both are aware that the people know this, I mean, it would be creepy if I come up to you and go, so, suspended from high school, huh?
Yeah.
If you wouldn't have known or you didn't sign up for that.
If I wasn't the one to have told you that.
Then.
Yeah, party city out there, huh?
Indeed. Thank you. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So both
Absolutely.
people have an awareness of these
traits. Some of these things.
Traits.
Yeah, 100 and some questions, and they both answered. And then so they answer these questions blindly.
Yeah.
And then this app puts those similar experiences into a match.
Based also on location.
And on location. And so now you've got some commonality. Now you've got, well, I see that you're,
That is a great icebreaker, actually.
My dad was left-handed. That's a great, so I mean, there's a connection there. There's something that you can, you can talk about. You got a conversation. Do you ever notice how in school all the desks were for right-handed people? And,
yeah, that is a good way.
Stuff like that. So, I mean, I think it's got some merit here.
That does.
It helps. And I know that there's a big direction toward online meeting and trying to become socially active via the internet. And that, that's the new push. And for younger people, that's the new way of doing things. And so, no more karaoke for you.
No. That was a good time. That you didn't need any kind of opening lines or that like that. You just go up on stage.
What? I can't hear you. The music's too loud.
Sing some songs.
Shut up and dance.
I can't imagine how many people became involved in relationship. I know I can count probably at least on both hands the number of relationships that started from karaoke and ended within that same times.
Probably half of those in one night.
Probably. Man, it used to be crazy town. All right, what else is going on?
Fallout 4. Have you heard of that game?
I am familiar with the Fallout franchise. It's based on Fallout. They had one. It was in Vegas.
One of those war games.
It's a first-person shooter, and you're in a bunker, and in the nuclear war, I think, has happened, and so then you go out on missions or something like that. And these apparently are great games.
Okay.
Very in depth, and people get sucked in.
Well, a 28-year-old Russian man that has made a claim now that the game's developer He's suing him, by the way, the developer, because he spent the time that he spent playing the game cost him his job and his wife.
Wow.
And of course, it's the developer's fault, not his fault.
Because it's such a good game.
Yeah.
This is quite the pro Fallout 4 story.
He said, if I knew that this game could have become so addictive, I would not have bought it.
I've heard that.
But is that his? I mean, that's his own fault.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing to do with
Obviously. All right. Fallout 4.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Old St. Nick has had quite an image makeover through the ages. A look at the original bringer of gifts today from the Old Farmer's Almanac.
This is a referral service. Calls will be routed to an independent referral insurance agency.
Do you know the number one cause of bankruptcy? No, it's not losing your job or running up credit card debt. It's not even divorce. It's medical costs. If you and your family don't have health insurance, just one serious illness or accident could be financially devastating. But now there's good news, really good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide health insurance for all Americans, even uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Now anyone can get health insurance even if you have a pre-existing medical condition. I repeat, now anyone can get health insurance coverage. Call now for a free no-obligation quote on affordable health plans available to you. Again, this is a free hotline for anyone, even if you have pre-existing conditions. Protect you and your family from sudden unexpected medical costs. Call the free health insurance hotline right now at 1-800-790-9836. That's 1-800-790-9836. Call 1-800-790-9836.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Thursday, December 24th. Christmas Eve is the 358th day of the year, and Ava Gardner was born on this day in 1922. As we await the annual visit by a certain jolly old elf, it's interesting to look back at how the legend of St. Nick has evolved through the ages. The original St. Nicholas, in fact, was far from the jolly, outgoing fellow he's been made out to be. He was a fiery Greek bishop imprisoned for his faith. But one of his character traits does live on, his reputation for leaving gifts in secrecy. Dropping gold coins down a chimney or leaving money in stockings were his trademark style. That 3rd century St. Nicholas would surely be amazed that his example is something we carry on today, even more so that it's by a jolly fellow in a flashy red suit. That's the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report. Learn more at almanac.com.
Dave Ramsey helps you handle your money on KMAS Shelton, weekdays from noon to 3, AM 1030, FM 103.3, and online at KMAS.com.
It is from ABC News. I'm Karen Chase. Record-breaking warmth is giving the East Coast a crazy Christmas. ABC's Aaron Katursky has the details.
When it's 74 degrees on Christmas Eve in New York City, it doesn't feel like Christmas Eve, unless you're a tourist from the South.
I actually like it, so.
What kind of heretic are you?
I know, I tell you what. I do like white Christmases as long as they were like 5 years ago. It rains and it clears it out.
You don't find this freakishly warm?
It is, but I still enjoy it. It makes you feel a little home. When you're touring and you have kids and you have to walk around a lot, you'll take this.
Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
It's the nightmare before Christmas in Mississippi, Arkansas, and Tennessee, where residents are still reeling after being hit by tornadoes.
We were outside, looking outside, out back, and all of a sudden, the wind changed and started coming out of the north.
The twisters claimed at least 9 lives, injured dozens, and tore up homes and trees. Republican presidential candidate Ted Cruz is telling the Washington Post to stop beating up little girls. He blasted the paper for printing a political cartoon portraying his daughters as trained monkeys, a reference to his use of them in a political commercial. ABC's Tom Yamas has reaction.
Now the Washington Post has taken down that political cartoon from their website that targeted Senator Ted Cruz's young children. The paper's saying it has a policy to leave children out of editorial cartoons, but the personal attack on his family may actually help Cruz. He's now fundraising off this incident while some of his rivals come to his defense.
If you've put off your holiday shopping until now, your patience and procrastination has paid off. Retailers are desperate and discounting items more deeply than last year. The Idaho lunch lady, fired for giving a free meal to a needy child, has been offered her job back. The district said it did it in the spirit of the holiday. Santa has begun his run. The FAA cleared him and his sleigh for takeoff and gave him special clearance to activate Rudolph's red nose. This is ABC News.
My name is Ron LeGrand, and for over 30 years now, I've been helping clients take their life back by buying and selling houses with no money, credit, experience, or licenses. If you call 800-350-0255, 24 hours, and leave a message, I'll send you my new book and CD absolutely free so you can see how. You'll learn how to make a full-time income on a part-time basis without risk, largely tax-free, and get 90% of the work done for you for pennies. That's 800-350-0255.
Finally, there's a lightweight cat litter that doesn't act lightweight. It's Arm & Hammer Clump and Seal Lightweight.
My name is Erin, and I'm a professional pet sitter. I deal with cat litter all day. Clump and Seal Lightweight is amazing on odor. It's super easy to carry, and there's absolutely no dust.
No other litter seals and destroys odor and is 50% lighter than our regular litter and 100% dust-free.
It changed how I feel about a lightweight litter. I would recommend it to my friends and my clients.
Get 7-day odor control and no dust in Arm & Hammer Clump and Seal Lightweight.
A strange story of a robbery is unfolding in the Houston area that ABC's Jim Ryan tells us began with a gunpoint kidnapping and ended with a hug.
The woman, we'll call her Amy, was getting into her car in a Target parking lot when a very large man approached.
And had a gun and shoved it against my head.
He ordered her to drive to an ATM and withdraw her last $120. Amy complied but started to formulate a plan.
I've got to make him my friend.
The single mother told the gunman her story.
I have 5 boys. They depend on me.
The robber, initially angry, softened and let Amy go.
And I gave him a hug. I said, thank you. I said, my boys, thank you.
And the gunman walked away. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
The Star Wars movie The Force Awakens has been getting mostly good reviews, but some viewers say something is missing. Some of the clips in the trailers weren't in it. J.J. Abrams says you aren't mistaken. Some of those clips ended up on the cutting room floor. But it wasn't a trick or a ruse. They were just victims of routine editing. Karen Chase, ABC News.
Local news is brought to you by Shelton Health and Rehabilitation Center. Find them online at sheltonhealthandrehab.com.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Marilyn Foster. The Mason County Commission approved a pay increase with medical coverage of 4% per the recommendation of County Central Services Director Bill Kenny for county employees. The increase covers pay considerations per memorandum of understanding with 5 of the labor unions contracted with the county. It also includes increases for the non-represented employees and the elected officials of the county. Kenny justified his recommendation to the commission by stating the county is at a crisis and crossroads. He said this is a result of the 2008 commission decision to cut staff and halt wage increases, resulting in the adjacent and like counties recruiting Mason County's trained and skilled employees. Recruitment efforts, according to Kenny, has not netted skilled replacements in the planning, engineering, and public health departments. This is symptomatic of the entire county, and his recommendation on this wage increase is an effort to stop the loss of skilled employees. The vote was taken, passing 2-0, with Commissioners Jeffries and Netherland voting for the wage increase and Commissioner Sheldon voting against. Mason County Commissioners this week approved expanding the Outer Harbor boundary line back to the original UGA boundary line setting. The original boundary line was reset in 2007 and 2008, splitting the marina into 2 local jurisdictions, county and city. This approval corrected the error, putting the entire marina in a single jurisdiction. The Port of Shelton can now move forward with dock improvements, including a new commercial dock in the future. State authorities say they've arrested 10 people in a child sex sting in Pierce County. During the 2-week undercover operation that ended Saturday, detectives post online as underage girls or parents selling their children for sex. 9 men and 1 woman were arrested after showing up for meetings they'd arranged with detectives. The Washington State Patrol's Missing and Exploited Children Task Force oversaw the operation. Several agencies participated in the sting, including the FBI, Tacoma Police, and the state's attorney's office. Governor Jay Inslee has ordered state corrections officials to stop some prison releases until a hand calculation is done to ensure the offender is being released on the correct date. This week, authorities revealed that more than 3,000 offenders had been mistakenly released early since 2002 because of a computer glitch. A broad fix to the software problem is expected to be in place by early next month. The halt on prison releases would be for offenders potentially affected by the computer error. Inslee says 2 retired federal prosecutors will conduct an independent investigation to figure out why it took so long to discover and fix the problem. Based on a prior Supreme Court ruling, most of the affected offenders won't have to go back to prison. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
2015.
This just in. As I speak, moments ago,
There is breaking news. Why look back when you can be in the moment?
Gunshots and explosions can be heard now.
medics are now making their way in. Here's another vehicle squealing off at a high rate of speed. Very loud bangs happening. Now we're hearing gunfire.
ABC News Radio invites you to hear 2015 as it happened. Listen for it right here.
Tomorrow morning from 6 to 9 on KMAS.
Is your family doing some growing? Whether it's an expansion of your home or the addition of a new family car, Peninsula Credit Union can provide fast, friendly service with terrific rates. We offer personal lines of credit, affordable auto loans, and a variety of home loan options to get you moving. Visit our offices in Shelton, Belfair, Paulsbo, Port Orchard, and Port Townsend, or go online to pcfcu.org. At Peninsula Credit Union, our priority is you.
Dirk slides past Shaq. The Spurs and Warriors keep on winning. Hi, everybody. Todd Ant reporting on sports. Dirk Nowitzki hit 2 critical baskets for the Mavericks against the Nets in Brooklyn last night, the first coming in the second quarter.
Read by Dirk, slips out of the screen. Down to Dirk. From 15. Is this the one? Yes, it is. Dirk Nowitzki, number 6 on the all-time NBA scoring list.
On KESN, Nowitzki moving past Shaquille O'Neal. The other big shot coming with 19 seconds left in overtime.
Down to Dirk as he checks the clock against Johnson. Left baseline, leads in and scores.
And that was the eventual game winner. Dallas sank the Nets 119-118. 7 straight wins for the red-hot Spurs.
Into the paint, pulls up from 13, off to the left wing, open 3, Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi not.
On WOAL, Kawhi Leonard 19 points, and San Antonio hammered Minnesota 108-83. They improved to 25-5. And Golden State knocked off Utah 103-85, improving to 27-1. It's the best start in NBA history before Christmas. The Cavaliers focused on their game Wednesday night and beat the Knicks 91-84. LeBron James made sure his team was not looking ahead to the Christmas Day matchup against the Golden State Warriors.
Memories will come back as soon as you walk into the building, but also understand it as one of 82, and I'm not going to put everything into this game.
James scored 24 points. Kevin Durant and the Thunder had little trouble with the struggling Lakers.
Kevin across the timeline, off the stutter step crossover, beats Bryant, cycles between defenders, down the lane, floats a runner that goes from 6. Kevin knifing between both Bryant and Hibbert, smiling, heading back down the floor.
On WWLS, Durant finished with 21 points in Oklahoma City's 120-85 victory. 2 college bowl games last night. The GoDaddy Bowl from Mobile, Alabama. Georgia Southern's Fabian Upshaw took over.
He's got the angle and the speed, and he's in again.
On ESPN, 4 touchdowns for Upshaw, Georgia Southern, 58-27 over Bowling Green. And in San Diego, the Poinsettia Bowl, Boise State cruised 55-7 over Northern Illinois. NFL, Giants receiver Odell Beckham Jr. lost his appeal. He will sit out Sunday night's game against the Vikings. College hoops, all the top 25 teams won, including Oklahoma and Louisville. Todd Ant, ABC Sports.
For News Radio 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3. And we are streaming audio and video live this morning on KMAS.com. Wave to the camera, everybody. Over there.
Over here. Oh, over here. Okay.
There. Okay.
That thing over there by the bluegrass from the forest poster.
That was priceless right there.
Yes, it is. Oh, very nice.
Gonzaga 85-62 over Loyola Marymount, a game on the radio last night on AM 1030 and FM 103.3. Meanwhile, over online at KMAS.com, we had the video stream of high school basketball. The boys high climbers losing to Clover Park last night, 60-51, while the Olympia Bears defeated Capital last night over in Thurston County, and the Olympia boys also won over Capital last night. We have coming up tonight on the radio Thursday night football, San Diego Chargers and the Raiders. They'll be going at it. They have, not a lot to play for, but both teams have expressed an interest in moving to Los Angeles. So maybe the winner gets to go and the loser stays home.
Oh, wouldn't that be one?
I don't know exactly how it plays out. The Raiders are 6-8. And they beat San Diego 4-10 on the year this year when they played earlier in this season. And it could be the last game for the Raiders in Oakland. Both teams, as we mentioned, looking to relocate possibly in the joint stadium partnership. Also, we might mention we got a big, long schedule of sports coming your way. We take Saturday, for instance, and it's the Sun Bowl in El Paso, and it's the Cougars at 9 in the morning pregame, 11 o'clock kickoff. And then we actually have some more sports for you on Saturday night, not to interfere with other things that are going on in the neighborhood, but the Redskins and the Eagles will be kicking off at 5 on the 27th. It's the Hawks and the Rams, final home game of the season for Seattle. We'll begin our coverage at 11 a.m. in the morning, and then Sunday night we'll wrap up the holiday weekend with the Giants at Vikings. Now, Monday Night Football, Bengals and Broncos. That's the game I was trying to think of. It's a pretty important matchup. Both are leaders in the AFC, and that'll be the Monday night game. And we'll wrap up our high school coverage in December, Tuesday night, again online on KMAS.com. The Lady Climbers hosting Hoquiam. And at sports, just got a quick check on the weather forecast.
32 now with scattered clouds. We're going to warm up to about 41 today. No rain today, tomorrow, or Saturday. Could see a little bit of snow in these parts on Sunday. Monday, back to dry conditions. Rain Tuesday, and then we'll dry out again as we end the year and start up in the mid-40s on next Friday. Yikes. First day of January.
It's Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Join the guys as they talk with neighbors, newsmakers, and each other, getting your day off to the absolute best possible start in the history of mornings. Connect with Jeff and Dale through the KMAS listener line, by email or Facebook. Now, from the shores of Hood Canal, Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
At 8:14 here. Good morning to you. It's Daybreak at KMAS, KMAS.com. Play some music here for you real quick. It's a great bluegrass.
I like this.
We're looking at some this great band, Runaway Train.
Who's your vocalist there on Runaway Train?
Back on vacation from Alabama.
Sounds good. This is from last year's Midwinter Bluegrass Celebration. Runaway Train playing Cold Hard Facts. And we have one of the members of Runaway Train in studio, along with Dwayne Wilson's Greg Linder. Hey, guys.
Morning. How you doing? We're doing well. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Good. All right. Lean into that microphone a little bit, you two. Come on. You guys know how to run a microphone.
He does.
Welcome, and your big Midwinter Bluegrass celebration coming up this Saturday. Performing Arts Center there on the Shelton High School campus, and pretty good lineup of acts, huh?
We do. We're going to have fun.
All right, 3 hours of nonstop bluegrass, toe tap, and music.
It is.
Who do we got coming this time around?
Well, we've got the Bluegrass Regulators.
All right.
Who haven't played. They played there 2 years ago.
Okay.
And we have Runaway Train.
Yes.
And we have North Country, which is a Seattle band based in Seattle.
Now,
and,
are the Regulators out of Gig Harbor? No?
Oregon, and Gig Harbor. Yeah, I mean, they're spread.
They're really young, so they're fun. They bring a little different edge to the bluegrass.
Nice.
Same with the Regulators.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the old guys are
a little more traditional.
Well, we got Luke in our band, so
so he's young.
Yeah, he's also in the Regulators, and Jake, Luke's brother, also plays in the Regulators. He's a phenomenal guitar player.
Can you talk to us about these two young fellows? They're brothers, and we know that they come back from college to play in the concert for you guys.
They do. They started coming to our festival years ago when they were just little kids.
Yeah,
and, They grew up through
part of our youth program.
Yeah, part of their youth program.
Now they teach it when they're around, but their family still teaches.
So
it.
that's a great story. They are very talented.
Yeah,
they're homeschooled also.
And they took a liking to bluegrass early on, and they remain true to that.
They do
that genre.
Luke was sponsored by Home Banjo when he was like 14 or 15.
Yeah, he still is.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's just phenomenal.
He won a national banjo championship thing, when he was like 14.
Wow. Right. And he's like a ripe old age of the early 20s now.
Early 20s, yeah.
The whole regulators, all those guys are like 24 and under.
In their 20s.
Yeah.
Man, that's great. Man.
It's fun.
That's a great endorsement of bluegrass, and you've got to feel good about young musicians coming up and coming down the pike now.
And it also dispels a lot of people's idea of what bluegrass is. It's not the corny stuff. There's some really great talent in there.
Well, the dobro player for North Country, he comes down from Canada. Will he be down?
Yeah, he'll be down from Canada.
He's like 16.
And
you just can't believe how good he is on that dobro.
Man.
When I think about
resonator guitar.
When I think about bluegrass, I've been watching the show Moonshiners a lot. So when I think about bluegrass, I think about summertime, Appalachia. How did we get to a midwinter bluegrass festival? And is it hard to book bluegrass in the winter?
Well, this show is not hard to book. The bands, the people, the kids, and the people in the bands all want to do it, because especially when Luke and Jake get back for their vacation, Christmas, they want to pick. So 3 years ago, we thought, let's give it a shot. We'll try a midwinter bluegrass thing.
And it brings attention to our bluegrass in the forest. And the other thing is, Dave Miser has just a quality sound system up there, the stage, just everything about the Performing Arts Center is comfortable for the audience. And people are calling Greg all the time trying to get on our shows, and even on this one, and they don't get paid much because it's not a big deal.
Not for this show. This was pretty much
it's almost a volunteer thing where they just want to pick, and it's a chance to perform on a good sound system. It's kind of like a tune-up for as they going into where it gets a little more active.
And the same person does the sound for the festival, does it for.
And who would that be?
That would be my son, Jackson.
He's very good. He does sound at Wintergrass, which is one of the biggest venues. So it's
Jackson Linder Sound now. That's the famous slogan.
Oh yeah,
it is.
So that's pretty cool. That's very exciting. But the whole genre, you got a good point there, Jeff, from the perception, Appalachia, and that kind of thing. And it's progressed all the way around.
Cost of the tickets
is $10. Sorry,
$10 for tickets.
We were probably going to get to that topic.
At the door, they won't run out of space, I don't think. We're really lucky.
How are the crowds the last couple of years? They're pretty good?
Gradually growing, but it's funny, we still get
100.
You can't believe how many people around the Puget Sound area really love bluegrass, and we get them. He's got people calling from Portland that are coming from Seattle, Tacoma.
Yeah.
Coming from across the pass, and hopefully it'll be open tomorrow.
Yes.
They'll make it.
Yeah. Well, I would guess that people are a little hungry for a bluegrass concert this time of year.
Yeah.
It's all summer long, and then it stops.
They have some withdrawal symptoms here.
We have one person comes from Port Angeles every year. He hasn't missed one of these.
I had a call from Enumclaw the other day. So.
Yeah, come in.
Yeah. So the bluegrass community really supports it. Locally, we're gradually building. I've got friends that I know that have indicated they're coming and stuff. So we're gradually getting there.
Tremendous experience, and people don't know about it.
They don't know about it, and they don't know the quality of musicians. It's just it's a really good show for $10. I'll tell you, 3-hour show.
It's a bargain.
3 bands, plus we have some intro stuff that it'll be just really interesting and a little different. So.
All right. And what time of the evening does the performance start?
6:30 is 6:30 to 9:30. We have a pre-show at 6:20. We got a couple special performances in the show.
Oh, okay.
If you guys brought your ukuleles, you can get in the All-Star Jam at the end.
Oh,
yeah.
How about that?
I assume you play ukulele.
Well, Joe Meyer plays the mean ukulele.
There you go.
Please, I know how to tune it. I haven't played a
There you go. Well, you got to start. So.
It would be an all-star jam. Anybody brings an instrument's going to be invited up to join on the stage.
At the end,
At the end. So we're hoping we get a good response there.
Well, that is going to be a whole lot of fun. I think the timing is good, too. The day after Christmas.
Yeah.
That's just when it works out.
People's families are all arriving today and yesterday, and they're all staying in the house, and there's going to be everybody's pleasant and happy. They have the big meal tomorrow, and the gifts, and church tonight, midnight mass, all these things going on.
Yeah.
And then Saturday is kind of a little awkward because the holiday's over. Still not leaving until Sunday. Well, I'm not a big football fan, so then here's a great opportunity to get out of the house, get some great entertainment, first-class entertainment for folks for $10.
And the weather is going to cooperate.
So it should be a good turnout. We wish you nothing but the best.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
Fundraiser for the big show in May.
Yep, we'll use any funds we raise from this to market bluegrass.
And you got some special guests coming. Can you tease us a little bit about the big bluegrass from the forest?
Michael Cleveland and Flamekeeper from Indiana. They just won. He just won Bluegrass Fiddler of the Year this IBMA.
He's phenomenal.
In Raleigh.
You just can't believe it.
Raw Bikes and Trey Hensley. Raw Bikes plays dobro. Trey Hensley on guitar. They're going to be here. They just right after I hired them, they got a nomination for a Grammy.
That's because Greg Linder paid attention.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, I would say so.
I'm going to put these guys on the
valuable
list.
Endorsement.
And we got North Country, which is playing in 2 nights here.
Yeah.
And the Blackberry Bushes, they're a Seattle-based group.
Oh,
they've been playing
heard of them before.
They've been playing all over the country.
All right.
Whiskey Death, which has this Annie Staninek, the phenomenal fiddle player.
Oh,
is that the girl you're talking about?
Yeah, she's got so much energy, you just can't believe it. And wow.
And Runaway Train. So those are the main acts, and then we have another stage also.
Oh yeah,
man,
you get the
looking forward to that.
Plus
the whole
workshops, all
weekend
kinds of stuff.
chock full. So it's a great lot of fun. We appreciate it so much, and have fun this Saturday night certainly. Again, $10 for tickets. Can't beat the price of admission.
No,
at the door.
And that's at the door, no pre-sale. At the Shelton High School Performing Arts Center. Fellas, rock on. What do they say in the bluegrass world? Do they say rock on?
Jam on, probably.
Yeah, jam on.
I would say jamming would be the byword of bluegrass.
It's fun.
Jam on.
It's the people's music, yeah.
All right, Dwayne Wilson and Greg Linder, fine representatives of the bluegrass community.
And Christmastown Kiwanis. It's presented by Christmastown Kiwanis.
Christmastown Kiwanis underwrites the whole dang thing.
They do.
All right, it is 8:23. We'll take a quick pause here and come back with Karen Shade and a little bit more Christmas Eve for everybody. Thanks, fellas. See you Saturday night. All right.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Northwest Real Estate Shelton, and Gateway Property Management would like to wish their friends, families, and clients a warm and happy holiday season, and we look forward to serving you in the new year.
At this special time of the year, a special message from your friends at Whitney's Chevrolet. May the miracle of Christmas bring thoughts of joy and peace. Happy holidays and best wishes for the new year from Whitney's Chevrolet.
I feel right at home on JohnLScott.com.
Hi, this is Dawn Pinnell from John L. Scott Real Estate here in Shelton. For a while now, I have been saying welcome home and sharing with you some great listings and some hopefully educational and interesting items of riveting radio real estate topics. We're moving our time slot to Friday at 8:55, right at the end of the morning show with Jeff and Dale. I hope you will continue to listen and that you will contact me with any of your real estate needs. I would love to help you say, I'm home.
Welcome to McDonald's. May I take your order?
To begin, let me say I look forward to our brief encounter.
Me too.
The search for great value led me to you. When I mix and match, great value will be mine. And to that you say...
What would you like?
Yes!
Now, don't just get value at McDonald's, own it. Get 2 of your favorite tastes for just $5 on the new McPick 2 menu, like the sausage McMuffin with egg and a strawberry banana smoothie. Value is back at McDonald's. Own it. Prices and participation may vary. Price of single item posted on menu board. You answered all your emails by noon. Get a freshly prepared Egg McMuffin. Actually left work on time? Then get yourself a savory sausage McMuffin with egg. You saw the weirdest midnight movie. Well, get a delicious sausage burrito. With McDonald's all-day breakfast menu, you can get delectable breakfast tastes anytime. Egg McMuffin, hotcakes and sausage and more. It's time to start enjoying the breakfast you love whenever you want. Just listen to a radio commercial, get some golden hash browns. McDonald's all-day breakfast menu varies by location.
2015.
This just in.
As I speak, moments ago, there is breaking news. Why look back when you can be in the moment?
Gunshots and explosions can be heard now.
Medics are now making their way in. Here's another vehicle squealing off at a high rate of speed.
Very loud bangs happening. Now we're hearing gunfire.
ABC News Radio invites you to hear 2015 as it happened. Listen for it right here.
Tomorrow morning from 6 to 9 on KMAS.
Good morning, this is Bob Burbridge from the Mason County Fire Chiefs, and you're listening to Jeff and Dale on Daybreak.
8:27 here at KMAS, KMAS.com. Expecting a call here shortly from Karen Shade of Edward Jones. Calling in to find out what the dilly is with Wall Street on this short day before Christmas. That's happening tomorrow. Great day weather-wise, and that actually will continue on until Sunday. And we're seeing the potential for a little bit of snow here, maybe in the evening, right as we get ready to start our Sunday night football coverage, 5 o'clock or so, and into the evening. Could see a little bit of snow here in the lowlands.
Oh, come on.
And maybe Lake Cushman could get some skiffs of snow. I'm not even joking. We could see
there was snow
32 right now.
Coming down yesterday at the lake. It's the 2015 KMAS holiday giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
So here in these next minute or two, if you'd like to give us a call at 462-1041, we'll give you a shot at one of our long list of goodies that we got lined up here for you. You can pick up anything from a $60 certificate for a roof repair before the next set of rainstorms come blowing in. How about that? And also $10 food certificates for the LC3, specializing in a steak night that is extraordinary.
Hi, KMAS. You're on the radio with us. Who is this?
Hi, I'm David.
Hey, Dave.
Hi,
how
David.
you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, man.
Good.
Well, Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Yes, Merry Christmas to you and Happy New Year.
We have our holiday giveaway going on, and David, you are fortunate enough to be the lucky elected caller that we selected here this morning.
Yes, I would say so.
Thank you.
So, do you need any roofing work done or any teeth work done?
My son is a roofer, and I don't have any teeth. So.
Well, I guess we can't help you out there then.
It's going to be the LC3.
All right, I like it.
You're down for it, my friend. If you'll hold on line for just a moment, David, we'll get a couple of more bits of information from you. But you have a certificate here at the radio station for a $10 gift certificate for some delicious steak at the LC3.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks for calling
Dave.
in this morning. That was a great one.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, so Carol, if you could get Dave's information and then clear the lines as we're anticipating our stock market report here shortly. I think that's who was beeping in. Yeah. We have
may have been her.
Heard the beep of the call waiting. Call waiting.
So we want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday season. Some people are putting in a bit of a shift today. Some bailing quite early, and then some are taken from today through the 4th until the 4th of January off. A lot of people I've been doing business with are doing that.
I'll do that too. I'm raising. Oh, you're saying stuff, and I'm raising my hand.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people leaving early today.
You are, yeah. Taking the week off
until the 4th. I'll do that.
You're in.
Sign me up.
Okay. We'll just you could turn this over to the girls.
Might as well. Hey, what was the name of your show? Just saying?
Just saying.
I like it.
Hi, KMAS Radio.
Good morning. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Karen. What's going on?
Well, ready for the stock market, and it's closed tomorrow, so.
Yeah, so we won't talk tomorrow, and then next week, kind of the same deal. We'll talk on Thursday, and then not on Friday.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
So are they kind of a little sleepy this morning over Wall Street?
Yes, they are. U.S. stocks are mixed after a 3-day rally and a shortened holiday trading session. In economic news, initial claims for unemployment benefits fell more than expected last week, nearing a 42-year low as labor market conditions continue to tighten. Over the past 12 months, the number of people collecting benefits has dropped 7.7% to 2.2 million. Treasuries are a little changed in early trading. So far this morning, the S&P 500, the best performing sector is technology, while the worst performing sector is energy. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 39 points at 17,563. The Standard & Poor's 500 Index is down 2 points at 2,062. And the NASDAQ Composite Index is up 6 points at 5,051. This morning, volume on the New York Stock Exchange is low, with about 130 million shares being traded, and advancers are outnumbering decliners by roughly 5-4 margin. In the commodity markets, the spot price of gold is up $4.78 to $1,075.28. The spot price of silver is up 5 cents to $14.36, and crude oil prices are up 33 cents to $37.83. In the bond market, the 30-year Treasury yield is currently 2.97%, and the 10-year Treasury yield is 2.25%. Stocks of local interest: Amazon is down 40 cents, Boeing is up 11 cents, Costco is down 47 cents, Starbucks is down 11 cents, and Microsoft is down 30 cents. This is Karen Shade of Edward Jones, member SIPC, serving individual investors with personalized attention and long-term financial advice. I'm located at 1051 Southeast State Route 3 in Shelton, and if you'd like additional information, you can contact me at 426-4590, and daily commentary is also located on our website at edwardjones.com. And have a Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas to you, Karen.
Okay, have fun.
Bye-bye. See ya. 8:32 here at KMAS and KMAS.com. The local news with Mary Lynn Foster is coming up next, and we'll start to wrap up the big show here on Christmas Eve. It's 8:32 and about 32 out there right now.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio.
Local news is brought to you by Fred Holmes Tree Service. FredHolmesTreeService.com, 427-4489.
You're listening to KMAS News Radio. I'm Mary Lynn Foster. The Mason County Commission approved a pay increase with medical coverage of 4% per the recommendation of County Central Services Director Bill Kenny for county employees. The increase covers pay considerations per memorandum of understanding with 5 of the labor unions contracted with the county. It also includes increases for the non-represented employees and the elected officials of the county. Kenny justified his recommendation to the commission by stating the county is at a crisis and crossroads. He said this is a result of the 2008 commission decision to cut staff and halt wage increases, resulting in the adjacent and like counties recruiting Mason County's trained and skilled employees. Recruitment efforts, according to Kenny, has not netted skilled replacements in the planning, engineering, and public health departments. This is symptomatic of the entire county, and his recommendation on this wage increase is an effort to stop the loss of skilled employees. The vote was taken, passing 2-0, with Commissioners Jeffries and Netherland voting for the wage increase and Commissioner Sheldon voting against. Mason County Commissioners this week approved expanding the Outer Harbor boundary line back to the original UGA boundary line setting. The original boundary line was reset in 2007 and 2008, splitting the marina into 2 local jurisdictions, county and city. This approval corrected the error, putting the entire marina in a single jurisdiction. The Port of Shelton can now move forward with dock improvements, including a new commercial dock in the future. State authorities say they've arrested 10 people in a child sex sting in Pierce County. During the 2-week undercover operation that ended Saturday, detectives posed online as underage girls or parents selling their children for sex. 9 men and 1 woman were arrested after showing up for meetings they'd arranged with detectives. The Washington State Patrol's Missing and Exploited Children Task Force oversaw the operation. Several agencies participated in the sting, including the FBI, Tacoma Police, and the state's attorney's office. Governor Jay Inslee has ordered state corrections officials to stop some prison releases until a hand calculation is done to ensure the offender is being released on the correct date. This week, authorities revealed that more than 3,000 offenders had been mistakenly released early since 2002 because of a computer glitch. A broad fix to the software problem is expected to be in place by early next month. The halt on prison releases would be for offenders potentially affected by the computer error. Inslee says 2 retired federal prosecutors will conduct an independent investigation to figure out why it took so long to discover and fix the problem. Based on a prior Supreme Court ruling, most of the affected offenders won't have to go back to prison. I'm Mary Lynn Foster, your local news at AM 1030 and FM 103.3, and always on KMAS.com.
Stop by Mason PUD 3's Shelton or Belfair offices this month and pick up your free 2016 PUD calendar. The calendar has important tips for energy efficiency, storm preparation, and contact information, so it's always close at hand. The calendar also has beautiful photos of Mason County scenery. Supplies are limited, so get your calendar before they're all gone. Mason PUD number 3, providing clean, renewable, and reliable energy every day.
Get ready. It's time to tee it up with Keith Jones.
If we really want to talk about, where you want to have, short-term, long-term improvement, it's that 6-inch fairway that Bobby Jones said is the most important fairway of golf. That's the fairway between your ears and the expectations that people have coming into the new season and really what they would like to accomplish.
Tee it up with Keith Jones. All right.
For News Radio, 1030 KMAS Shelton, FM 103.3, and streaming audio and video this morning on KMAS.com. You'll want to look over there and smile big to the world.
Bigger than that.
Come on, it's Christmas Eve. There you go. We got our own special little elf in the studio with us this morning. We'll get to him in just a moment. Sports notes for you from the evening before the game heard here on this very radio station. The Gonzaga Bulldogs undefeated in the West Coast Conference after the opening week of the season for league play. A convincing win over Loyola Marymount and over Pepperdine as well. Last night's score 85-62. So Gonzaga will get a nice Christmas break before resuming WCC play again after the holidays. Last night on KMAS.com, we video streamed the High Climber boys losing to Clover Park last night by a final of 60-51. We will have girls basketball coming your way on Tuesday. Live stream KMAS.com on the YouTube for you as Hoquiam comes to the Mini Dome. Tonight on the radio, Thursday night football to decorate the tree by, right? String popcorn.
Yeah.
Do people still string popcorn?
Black and silver and blue and yellow. Nothing says Christmas like those 4 colors.
Oakland and San Diego. Tonight.
Yeah.
Scintillating.
You're into that?
That's the rivalry game for them.
That is a big rivalry game.
Yeah.
Are you from the California?
San Diego.
You're a
thought
Charger.
so. I thought so, yeah.
What a sad demise of that franchise.
We were talking about that yesterday.
feeling bad for
what's
Phillip
going
Rivers.
on with that?
Well, the Spanos family, I think, has been asking to build a stadium in San Diego for years. The Padres got a stadium.
Yeah.
The old San Diego Stadium is a beautiful stadium, but it's old school. It has none of the corporate box stuff, The cities refused to accommodate them. And, of course, Los Angeles, right up the road, sitting there without a team for all this time.
Yeah. Now, the San Diego Chargers originally, Ray Kroc family, right? McDonald's?
That's Padres.
That was the Padres.
Gene Klein, the old Charger owner. Before,
the old Charger owner.
Before Spanos, yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's just apathy of the team, and they want to move, and the other people don't want to pay for the stadium, or what's the deal?
Yeah, they've got an impasse on the new stadium. And I guess that Los Angeles has something going. I've heard rumors that they need to kind of reshuffle the teams a little bit to accommodate 2 teams using a stadium in Los Angeles.
We were talking yesterday about having the Chargers. I mean, this would be a total revamp, but like the Seahawks, the 49ers, the Raiders, and the Chargers are kind of in the same deal. So it would be just major
and the Rams
division rival. And then the Rams will probably be in LA too. So all 5 of those teams in the West, that would be so much fun.
I don't know where they're going to play next year, though. That's the mystery I can't figure out.
So it's kind of bizarre. A lot of scenarios there. Some people are lobbying for Oakland just to move to the new stadium that the 49ers have.
Because they do.
And then have the Rams come to Los Angeles and share the stadium with San Diego.
Yeah.
Mike, I think they need some order.
Mike Patty is standing in the hallway.
It's going to take some of the
assistant
thunder away from
fire
Steve.
chief.
Steve Goins here.
Mike, there's nothing on fire around here?
I suppose I can look hard enough.
Could light a fire under our butt. We've been kind of dragging all morning.
Mike, come sit down. We got 20 minutes left here in the big show.
You guys can share.
So we've got football on tonight, Sun Bowl coming up this weekend.
It may not sound like it, but we're focused on Shelton right now.
32 degrees outside. Maybe see some snow coming up on Sunday. That pretty much does it for us.
And this is almost news. And are you going to explain that outer harbor line move?
I can explain that, actually. I really can. If that is riveting radio, I don't know. But,
well, we've been dealing with the port of call and the guys from the port for many years now, and that's what they've been talking about. I mean, that was kind of like the underlying story for the whole year, getting that figured out.
It's important to the folks down at the marina, I suppose.
Sure.
Yeah. They're getting under one jurisdiction, one entity that sort of oversees their processes, which I think makes it a lot easier for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll simplify things for them down along there.
Yeah. They want to build a commercial dock. That's, I think, the interest to us.
Yes.
We've always thought that was a good idea, and this would facilitate that.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Mr.
Mike,
Patty, what are you up
doing
to?
here?
How are you doing?
Good to see you, bud. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
What's going on?
Central Mason Fire and EMS Assistant Chief.
The old.
Look at that.
Nice work.
All right.
Nice work. No, things are going well. We're knocking on wood here for a quiet Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
All right. We'll go with that.
Nope, things are going well.
Okay, good. Glad to hear that. So we've got Stevie San Diego now.
I guess, yeah.
Okay. I like it. Did we even tell anybody who that other voice was? Steve Goins?
Yeah, no, we talked about it. Steve, you're the community economic development guy for the city. How much interaction do you and Mike Patty here do when you're looking at new places for people that are interested in maybe coming to town or revamping some things? We have a new for lease across the way here. How much work do you do when you go in there and then the fire chief comes in and looks at things again? Do you guys work closely together?
Actually, fairly closely. You might be surprised.
I am surprised. That's why I asked.
Yeah, someone wants to come into an old building that maybe has been something else. Mel Chevrolet comes to mind. It was a car dealership, and we want to change the use into a different use. That has a lot of code ramifications that we need to coordinate. What are the exiting requirements? What are the fire protection requirements for this type of use in a building that didn't contemplate that before?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we work through all those kind of things.
We meet, if not more often, at least weekly, between the fire, building, planning, engineering. We all meet together at least once a week to talk about things that are coming up. Sometimes we're hearing rumors afloat because a lot of us are out in the community, so we'll come together there and talk about what ifs, hypotheticals.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the fire department, and because the fire department is a contract organization with the city, we don't have a real attachment other than contractually, but we work surprisingly close together and have a great relationship.
Let's talk about Mel Chevrolet again, just as a building in the town. What kind of retrofitting is needed to bring it up to fire code? Now, I'm imagining there's water pipes and there's a sprinkler system, but it's 2015 and that building is really old. So what kind of changes were needed that you guys talked about to upgrade the building to be up to code?
Well, I think it's going to depend on what the use is going to be. The fire code will specify the building type, how it's built, and what year it was built. Because a lot of times, unless there's a large remodel or something like that, it's going to stay to the codes to which it was built. If there's a substantial change of use, then we'll bring it up to whatever the code requires for that particular change. For example, if they were going to make an place of assembly, a church or a sports venue or something like that, then there becomes exiting, fire alarm, fire sprinkler requirements. If it stays how it is now or what it was originally, where it was a repair garage, then it would follow the code requirements for that repair garage, which are substantially different than a place of assembly.
Wow. When there's the visioning project, transforming the railroad here, nice, beautiful area, but bringing the lanes in, maybe putting the lanes on a diet or whatever you guys are saying. Do you Mike, do you have input on the size of the road that you guys need to make sure there's enough space for the fire trucks to get through, or how does that work in your dealings with Steve?
We talked about that, as a matter of fact. What was one of the unknowns about what this road diet will do for emergency access. Is there enough room for the cars to pull over if a truck needs to go through town, or a police car? We have those meetings and talk about those kind of things. We try to bring up things and not surprise each other and the applicants. And I think what Mike was talking about was something they do very well in coordination with us, is if we know a use is coming or being considered for a building, we try to get that information to the potential applicant very early. So it's not a surprise later, oh, by the way, you have to put sprinklers in this building, once they've made a substantial commitment and that was something they weren't aware of. We try to get all those cards on the table as fast as we can.
Right, so they understand too. Yeah.
That's one thing. Folks coming into Shelton, our job, the way that the folks that we meet on Thursday morning, we look at it as it's our job to say yes, and how can we help you? I mean, the very last thing we want to do is tell a business proponent, no, you can't do what you want to do.
Right.
We'll find ways to make it happen within the building code, fire code, the municipal code for the city.
So you work with anybody to try to make this a good fit.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. That's awesome. That is a good thing. Any quick safety tips you want to pass along to anybody here for the next couple of days?
Really quickly, we're getting late into Christmas season, which means people who have the cut trees in their house, they're probably starting to get really dry right about now.
Good point.
If they are, tomorrow's Christmas and the next day is Saturday, you might want to consider if it's really dry and the needles are falling off. We've tried real hard to get the word out about keeping them watered, but they still dry out. It's like a bottle of gasoline near your fireplace about this time after they've been set down.
They go up incredibly fast.
Exactly. And we've got a posting on our site about 45 seconds from a time of Christmas tree is ignited till the smoke is at the ground. And smoke detectors, everybody loves smoke detectors. Sprinklers are kind of a new thing in the buildings. Smoke detectors in that application, all that does is wake you up. And people would not be able to get out of their house in 45 seconds in the scenario that we show on Facebook.
Yeah. So, wow.
So please, keep that in mind as soon as the Christmas season is over. Think real seriously about getting the tree out of the house.
Tearing down his Christmas decorations at 6:05 tomorrow morning, or?
Let's see. Yeah. Well, no, now that it's not going to rain on Saturday, I can probably at least hold off until then.
Right.
There you go.
What do you guys got planned for the big holiday here? You guys, Mike, you're probably working tomorrow.
I'll be around. I'm going to be with family tomorrow morning tonight and tomorrow morning.
Great.
But we've got a crew on just like normal. And, we'll be there if you need us.
Much like the city garbage pickup, it happens every day, and the firefighters are there every day working hard as well.
Yeah.
Steve, what about you? What do you got?
You going into the office tomorrow, Steve?
Oh, no. The office is closed tomorrow. Because, I'd be there if it was open.
We know you would be, of course.
Great employee.
No, we're closed up tomorrow, back on Monday.
Okay.
All right, very good. Well, both of you have a pleasant and wonderful holiday.
Same to you. And thanks again for the support that KMS shows the city.
Oh, it is our pleasure, and we want to thank our community credit union who helps to bring us our focus on Shelton. Even though some weeks we're a little less than focused, but we always are striving.
Striving is a good word.
To improve.
Thank you very much,
fellas. Merry Christmas to you both. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah.
And we'll catch up with you next week on New Year's Eve.
You can come by. Yeah, definitely next week. Come by and we'll chat about.
You're both invited back. Like that. We got special surprises.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. If you're on the hunt for some fast holiday cash, you'll find big bucks at our community credit union. It's our job as your trusted financial partner to provide fast access to cash when you need it most. With the Holiday Quick Bucks loan, you'll enjoy $1,200 for holiday shopping, winter travels, or whatever you wish. $1,200 at 9.95 annual percentage rate on a 12-month term. Apply online at OURCU.com or visit a branch in Shelton, Union, McClary, Elma, Montesano, and Vashon. The hunt is over. Find big bucks at our community credit union today.
Are you afraid of going to the dentist? Check out one of the top dentists in the Olympia area at Impressions Dentistry. Dr. Bath offers free nitrous and gentle care to calm your fears. He is a preferred provider for Delta Dental and Cigna. For those with no insurance, they have affordable plans like a special 1 year of dental care for only $159. You'll be impressed with the care you receive. Check out Impressions Dentistry by calling for an appointment today, 360-284-4288, or visit our website at olympiaimpressions.com.
Jason, and you're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale.
Oh, God, they're going to,
All right, good morning to you. We got about 7-8 minutes here left of the big show, almost 9 o'clock. Tom Hartman, I think he's off too, and we'll have most of the rest of the best of programming throughout the next couple of days here. Dale and I are going to take tomorrow off. We got a great show for you for ABC News Radio presenting 2015 as it happened as a 3-hour retrospective. Some of the top stories through the highlights and breaking news coverage of ABC. That's from 6 to 9 tomorrow. Next Friday, we'll have another couple shows for you. One of them is called Perspective, put on by ABC News Radio, and very cool that let's see. So yeah, let me find out which one. Playback is one that they talk about all the great things. Then there's one called Perspective that we'll be having for you, and it's got a exclusive interview with Pope Francis.
Oh,
the Pope.
Wow.
So that's next Friday during the Daybreak show. And then we'll also have the Economy 2015 year in review, kind of a different look back of the year. That'll be next week. Tomorrow is our 2015 as it happened, some of the biggest events in a 3-hour retrospective here on KMAS. Tonight, some not high school, but we've got NFL football for you.
NFL football.
Chargers and the Raiders.
Yeah.
And the future for both teams is up in the air for sure. We'll see what happens. So tomorrow, Sunday, we've got football, Seahawks. When are we going to know when the Seahawks are playing in the playoffs? When are we going to find that schedule out? Do we have to wait until after the Arizona game?
Well, we don't know what seed they are. And, all we know for sure is the wild card weekend, and that is the weekend of the 8th, 9th, and 10th. Saturday the 9th is wild card Saturday, and so
but we don't have
Seattle will play on the 9th of January, but we don't know what time of the day, nor do we know who their opponent is. So there you go. That's the best answer we can give you. That's all the NFL knows right now, because we don't know who their opponent is going to be. A lot of stuff moving around here. Green Bay is taking on Minnesota Vikings. That's a big game. And so that has huge repercussions because, remember, Green Bay beat us. We beat Minnesota. They're battling for first place in their division, and who's ever in first place gets the bye, and whoever's in second place is the wild card right now, the way things stand.
Yeah.
So if it's Green Bay's the wild card, that bumps us down to 6 because Green Bay beat us head-to-head. If Minnesota's the wild card, we beat them, so we're the number 5 seed. We prefer the 5 seed because we get to play the NFC East, and we keep saying that, and they'll probably come back to bite us. But today, the NFC East is being led by the Washington Redskins.
7-7.
There you go. That's the best record in the NFC East. And shockingly, Philadelphia and the Redskins are playing, and that's going to be a big game, has big repercussions on what's going to happen with the playoffs. So next 2 weeks are really, strangely, very important. Same with Arizona and Seattle. Arizona's got our conference wrapped up, and they got a first-round bye. But do they have home field advantage secured throughout the playoffs? And they have some tough games coming down the pike. So it's going to be a lot of fun here the last 2 weeks before the playoffs begin. And then Seattle's late season surge always paying big dividends and getting us all enraptured with some playoff activity. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good way to start off the year with the Super Bowl 50 championship. That's awesome.
Oh, look at you, prediction. Okay, I like it.
I've got it nailed. This will be the greatest comeback. And Russell Wilson is focused. Now, he spent Tuesday where he always spends Tuesdays when he's in town, Seattle Children's Orthopedic Hospital.
You don't hear much about, so there was that big controversy with Aaron Rodgers and his girlfriend Olivia Munn. Oh, Munn screwing up the Packers, yada, yada, yada. And then we heard some tinklings of that when the Seahawks were not doing well and blamed on Sierra.
Yeah.
Right, Russell's girlfriend.
Right.
Now that they're doing great,
That man
you
is
don't hear about Sierra.
He's a master of his domain on many levels.
He's good to go.
And he has a focus right now. And, and Russell Wilson makes no bones about it. He wants to be the greatest player. Whatever he chose to do, he wanted to be the greatest at it. Mm-hmm. And I'd say he's off to a pretty dang good start. He is into the NFL annals of history. He's broken records already. He's on a tear right now. Where he could, in fact, have the greatest career start of any quarterback in the history of the game. And he's on the cusp of something magical like that. And, his supporting cast has been better than average. We will give him that benefit of the doubt. But it is Russell Wilson, and it is wins in the win column. Only 2 losses, I think, in December since he's been here.
Pretty impressive.
It's incredible. And don't lose sight or take for granted what we have in Russell Wilson. And he's not big and strong like Cam Newton. But cerebrally, he is a smart, focused young man. Athletically, I don't know there's a better quarterback in the league. So watch and be amazed. I think this Sunday you'll see the Seahawks come through with a statement game against the St. Louis Rams, put them where they belong, well in our rearview mirror, and licking our chops and getting ready to go down to Arizona to wrap up the season and head for the playoffs. I think Seattle's in the right spot at the right time right now, even with the injuries. Everybody's got those. We seem to have a better way of adapting to that than most. Have fun this weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
Blessed
Merry
holidays
Christmas
to everybody. And we'll be back next week with all of our new Christmas presents on.
Trying to be wearing everything on Monday.
You're listening to Daybreak with Jeff and Dale on KMAS News Radio. Old St. Nick has had quite an image makeover through the ages. A look at the original bringer of gifts today from the Old Farmer's Almanac.
This is a referral service. Calls will be routed to an independent referral insurance agency. Do you know the #1 cause of bankruptcy? No, it's not losing your job or running up credit card debt. It's not even divorce. It's medical costs. If you and your family don't have health insurance, just one serious illness or accident could be financially devastating. But now there's good news, really good news. A health insurance hotline has been established to provide health insurance for all Americans, even uninsured Americans with pre-existing conditions. Now anyone can get health insurance even if you have a pre-existing medical condition. I repeat, now anyone can get health insurance coverage. Call now for a free no-obligation quote on affordable health plans available to you. Again, this is a free hotline for anyone, even if you have pre-existing conditions. Protect you and your family from sudden unexpected medical costs. Call the free health insurance hotline right now at 1